right, let's do this thing. We are live on Pop Culture Breakdown. Welcome to the show, everyone. It is great to be here with you all. I am Dictor Van Doomcock, and some of you are cracking wise and foxy in the chat about your atomic clock may be off. Time runs slower in this part of the universe than in other parts because we were a little late. Gosh darn it. It's not my fault. It's the fault of the panel because they showed me something that beggars belief. They showed me something so fucking bad. I mean, I honestly don't even dare to talk about it. It's like unfucking, it's like, it's and so I had to grapple for several minutes trying to figure out what the fuck what the fuck is the world coming to, ladies and gentlemen? What the fuck is the world? We may just simply show you an image. I don't know. Because get thee behind me, Satan. It's like hey, it's like a joke rich environment of the kind that can, get you abducted by aliens and, of the woke kind, and you never get seen again. You know what I'm saying? It's too, as Tom Waits would sing, temptation, I can't resist. Gee, what the fuck is the world coming to? And along those notes, welcome to the show. I'm already breaking out in a sweat. Fuck me. All right. Well, let's, Jesus. That's why we were a few minutes late. All right. I honestly, it's like, danger, Will Robinson. I can't even talk about it. I can't, it's like a minefield, I'm like shitty Gatwa standing on a mine for 50 minutes and calling it a goddamn show, Well, on that note, go fucking hell. God bless America. All right. Let's go around and have everybody introduce themselves. But honestly, sometimes you just, I feel like the first time I ever saw like the Oompa Loompas singing, with the Clockwork Orange, like fucking font, like swirling around them in weird colors, and it's like, I'm trying to come up with a metaphor. It's like, how Malcolm McDowell's eyeballs were, propped open with a, it's like my asshole has been propped open similarly. I'm just sitting here.
Oh.
And they're playing na 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 na. It's like, God Almighty. Anyway, hey, welcome to Pop Culture Breakdown. If we show you the image, you'll understand. But I can't even, dude. Seriously, they were telling me for like a minute or two, no, this is real. And I said, no, it's not. Bullshit. And they're, no, it is. And it's like, is this bullshit? And then finally they've convinced me. And now I'm just, my mind is reeling, and I'm just, all lost in a wonderland, a stranger in paradise. Let's go to Gary Ambrosia at the center of the earth. Gary, is there anything wrong with my account? You guys did spring this on me, didn't you?
Is there anything wrong with your account? No, absolutely not. We did spring it on you, but it has been advised by the legal counsel here at the center of the earth that we probably shouldn't be talking about this subject. So
or even touch it.
Leave it at that.
Or even touch it. Okay. Well, how are you, Gary? It's good to see you.
I was okay before I saw that image, but yeah, I'm doing okay, man. I'm all right. Just another chalk mark on the wall here in the center of the earth.
All right. Well, I'll just give y'all hints. I'll just give y'all hints and let y'all guess. It involves someone that played Jesus Christ like Nosferatu at the Hollywood Bowl. That's
AKA
all I'm going to say.
Netflix Nosferatu.
Yes,
as we call her.
Yes.
Him,
or
him actually.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Well, hey, we don't know. So that'll give you a little something. G. It's Q. That's all I'm gonna say. There's nothing else I can say. I can't. You know what? It's just tap dancing in a minefield. Rob Wright. Rob, you know what? You fuckers.
I just wanted to make sure you didn't use that brand for advice on men's fashion for this upcoming year,
or grooming, or yes, or playing Jesus Christ. Okay, good.
Yes, we're trying to help you out, trying to save you, not give you a heart attack.
Well, I thank you, thank you,
yeah,
thank you.
But we got all kinds of crazy news. But hey, never fear, our movie of the week is an awesome one. So,
all right. I'm still
really
grappling. I'm still like frozen and like I'm like Robbie the Robot in Forbidden Planet when he says now fire on the commander and Robbie just stands there, his brain is frying, and that's me right now. Let's just move on. You gotta see it. So it's out there. This thing is really out there.
Yep.
All right.
But don't worry. Just have a helicopter fly over them and they'll freak out. It's pretty funny.
So the cover.
You didn't see that video, did you?
No. The cover of this thing is okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There it is.
Hey, look.
Someone put it in the chat there.
All right. Well, so somebody put it in the chat. We're not going to address it. We're not going to show it. Just look at the cover of GQ. That's all I'm going to say. All right. That's it. I'm just going to say, and okay. So there you go. You just go look for yourselves, look for the cover of GQ, and you'll understand my discomfiture. All right. I'm not going to say another fucking word about it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but they shouldn't spring this on me literally like 2 minutes before we go on the air. I'm really, I can't handle it. Heather L., welcome. Yeah, she's laughing. She thinks it's funny. Welcome to the show, Heather L.
Thank you. Just great to be here. It's been a long week, but thank you so much for the laugh. Your reaction is priceless.
Hey, General Sod, you said it. I didn't. Okay. You said it. I didn't. Cover of GQ. Something of the Annam Award. Okay. Ask Mr. Ed for further details. And now, I'm sorry, Clark. Look, dude, I try hard, but this is fucked up. So now you got it out there. Just go check out the cover to GQ, and we're just going to let it go. All right. And now joining us is the person who should have been on the cover of GQ, our own Doug Nelson. Doug, it's great to see you, my friend.
Yeah, it's great to see me too. Look, I mean, everybody should just calm down and appreciate the respect that manhood is receiving at long last. Because this is great inspiration for little boys and girls aspiring to be a man one day, and so it's it's a great stride for the future of
Yes.
manhood. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, well, I'm delighted. Sorry, Doug, that you didn't make it this year, but the competition was stiff.
There you go. See,
It was.
It was very stiff. Sean, man of the house 2025. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I was by process of elimination, I have elected myself man of the house for the current year. So we'll see what next year brings. But it's good to be here and see everybody. I have a feeling it's going to be a lot of fun and a lot of laughs tonight. Dukak always seems to be a little more funny when he's upset. So.
It's true, because pain is funny.
It is.
Pain is funny.
If it don't hurt, it isn't funny.
Your
Yes.
pain is funny for sure.
Yeah, I know it. Well, there it is. SP4H in the chat says, "Dear me, why did I look that up?" No,
Thank
Wolf.
you. We
Yikes,
warned
I
you.
made a mistake and looked into it. Now
We
y'all
warned
know.
you.
See, the problem is that YouTube is not very tolerant, and you say the wrong thing, and you get your head lopped off. And I was going to say the wrong thing. If this thing is on the screen, I'm saying the wrong thing. So I'm just shutting up. Y'all go investigate for yourself, and that's why. That's why. And we are joined tonight also by our special guest, Osaka Chandal, all the way from Osaka. Hail to you, Osaka Chandal. Welcome.
I want to thank everyone for subscribing for my channel and releasing the Doomcock song and the special Doomcock song. So yay, thank you for that. And I hope everyone's doing well, and I'm really happy to be here again.
I am delighted to have you. And sorry for those. Yes, Von Max says, "My eyes, they burn." Lombardi, 1969. I saw a glimpse of this. I feel so sick. Exactly. Stud Supreme says, "What's all this about the GQ cover? What are you,
Okay.
Emily Latella? What's all this about Soviet jewelry?"
So
Well,
before
don't-
you look at the GQ cover, you need to take a big sip of water, hold it in your mouth, and then click it and look at it.
Just
If
go
you can keep
at
it in
for
your mouth
yourself.
without spitting it out, you win.
Exactly. Don't just go look for yourselves. We're not going to show you. We're not going to look at it. I'm not going to look at it. It would be instant death for me. So let's go ahead and move to the breakdown of the scheduled stories that we had lined up that I actually anticipated, and I will not lose my shit over. Seriously. All right. So y'all take care of that in the chat. We're not going to show it. We're not going to even look at it. It would be very bad. Let's talk about The Running Man. Let's talk about Tron Ares. Let's talk apparently about Predator Badlands, because this is a perfect kind of trifecta of a remake and a reboot and a sequel, and all of them are falling down at the box office. Predator Badlands apparently did very well initially, but then the second weekend it dropped off 68%. And I have sources that say it's even getting worse. So holy shit, I know some people really liked Predator Badlands. Some people, thought it was woker or whatever. I just don't have any interest in seeing a, Disney-fied, Predator. I mean, I don't have anything against you. If you like it, well, great. It's hard to find movies that we like these days, but for me, it ain't my cup of tea. But then you look at, Tron Ares, and that just lost, oodles of money. So that's a reboot that failed. Predator Badlands appears to be maybe a sequel that's going to fail, and Running Man definitely is a failure. This thing off I think a budget of $110 million. Its opening weekend global was something, what, 28.2, something along those lines, 28.3 million. That does not signal a profitable run. These days, these movies, they got to make a lot of their money up front. This one ain't gonna make it. So, and I'm kind of gratified because I'm so sick and tired of all these remakes, reboots, and sequels. It's just the death of creativity. It's the death of imagination. It's just, serving people up the same fucking thing over and over and over again. Now, to its credit, Predator Badlands at least is trying to be different, and I'm a little surprised that it's dropped off that severely because, judging from the reviews that I heard on this show, it wasn't that bad, but holy shit. Well, I mean, Gary's making a face, but I mean, there were things about it that you said you actually thought were pretty. I mean, it wasn't like a goddamn, dumpster fire.
Yeah, it's true. There were some pretty cool things in it, but again, it was the story that killed it for me.
Yeah.
And the PG-13 rating.
But listen, Running Man, folks. Why did they think that this Glenn Powell guy could stack up to Arnold Schwarzenegger? Arnold fucking Schwarzenegger. He's a legend. That's a iconic 80s film. And there's just why do they do this stuff? Why do they insist on trying to milk old, worn out IPs instead of making new, wonderful things? And I just, it's stunning to me that they do this. This video that I did, today, I was trying to draw the kind of parallels between Tron Ares, fail, Running Man, fail, and it's starting to look like Predator Badlands is going to be a fail too. Oddly enough, even though it had some positive things that people were saying about it. Let's just go around and kind of get everyone's feelings about this. Gary, I guess you're maybe not surprised. Sounds like you like it less now than you did when you actually reviewed it last week.
You talk about Predator Badlands.
Yeah.
The more I thought about it, it's great that there was some great cinematography. It's great that there was some cool fights. And, there was some giant monster fights. That was kind of neat. But again, it suffered from the same problem. It was all done in close-ups and way too quick to even see what was going on. It was muddy. There were subtitles in the middle of some of the action scenes. So you're trying to read what the Predator's saying while he's kicking the shit out of somebody.
Uh-huh.
And it's like the story was shit, man. The story was garbage. And I didn't realize until I left the theater that it was PG-13. And that right there explained a lot of the problems. Because I'm like, this is very, milk toast and ho-hum and, sort of like a cartoon kid, Saturday morning version of Predator, and, I'm sorry, there's some pretty violent shit in Predator movies.
Extremely.
I mean, that's kind of the way it was. I mean, we saw a dude's head and spine get ripped out in the second one. I mean, Carl Weathers lost his arm in Predator, and that was pretty brutal. And dude's heads are blowing up. Didn't Bill Duke get shot in the face and it just exploded?
Yeah,
the kind of shit that we're used to. Sorry, guys, spoiler alert. That's the kind of shit we're used to with Predator. And I mean, unfortunately, all the cinematography and the great effects and everything, it can't pull that back in. It seemed a lot, I don't know if you guys that saw this agree with me, but it seemed a lot like they were shoehorning the Weyland-Yutani thing in the movie too much. Yeah. It's like, oh, hey, here's, Weyland-Yutani. Hey, I'm a synthetic, like all the rest, like Ash, like Bishop. I'm part of that universe, guys. It seemed like there was a lot of that. So, and things like that, they know that things like that trigger, a quick dopamine member berry for people. and that kind of shit just doesn't work for me anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's not enough. So it was very well decorated. There's a lot of icing, but the cake was pretty shitty. You know.
There you go.
Yeah.
Gary Ambrosia quoting, the scribes themselves. He slips and slides as he falls in love, and he just can't seem to get enough. It just was tepid compared to what Gary wanted, and there you go. Now, Rob Wright, correct me if I'm wrong, but off of a budget of $100 and I believe $10 million is what I recall that they said. Yes, $110 million, The Running Man. Globally, on their opening weekend, they made $28.2 million. Now, you tell me, isn't that a bomb? Are they going to make their money back?
Not at this rate. I mean, opening weekend should have been, much more than that. You should have had at least 50, but and worldwide. Oh my gosh, it just shows that the people, they put out a movie that people didn't want to see. They don't know their audience. I didn't see the Predator movie, thank goodness, but I did see Tron Ares, and again, that's another movie that didn't do what the audience wanted. The audience was looking for a continuation of the previous story and got none of it. It got some member berries, but that's about it. Sounds like the Predator movie had some member berries, and that's it. Sounds like this movie is kind of a little bit of member berries and more like the book, but that's it. I mean, you're not in touch with your audience. You're not bringing us into the theater to see stuff. And it's sad. It's terrible. And the sad thing is you've got other movies like, Frankenstein and you've got Weapons that only had a limited run in the theaters and are actually good movies, which people want to see. It's crazy. But Doomcock, I do have a solution to Running Man. I mean, what we can do, we can make a more realistic, badass Running Man. All we got to do is set up a bunch of cameras outside in Xanadu and outside in the real world, and then just push the button, and you'll see a lot of Running Man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And there's no winner. Well, there's only one winner, and that's Harvey Cthulhu. That's absolutely correct. And Heather L., Doug, Sean, Osaka Chandal, Tron Ares. Get this: $220 million production cost, according to Deadline, $141 million global box office. So, yeah, that's another reboot that remake, reboot, and sequel. They all suck. I'm sick and tired of all of them. Hell, even I just was listening to my local rock station, and I heard the DJs talking about the Running Man. It's like they said, yes, it's just another remake, isn't it? It's just like not even a movie show, just like DJs shooting the shit, in the morning zoo. This is what do you think about the Running Man bombing like this, stumbling and falling?
Well, I think, I kind of share this general just tiredness of reboots, remakes, revisiting sequels, on, lack of creativity. The Running Man, I was actually a really big fan of the Stephen King book. And so I was kind of interested when I heard about this, and I probably will actually watch it. Maybe it's a wait for streaming. I'm kind of disappointed that the reviews have been so bad. I think the original movie was probably successful because it was not a faithful adaptation of the book. And I think this one, they were striving to be a more faithful adaptation. I don't know that the story translates into a great movie. I mean, books, you have to adapt differently, and sometimes being faithful to the book isn't always the best idea. The Schwarzenegger movie made it fun and made it, it was really a creative take. It just took the idea of what the book was, and it kind of made it its own story, and it made it really good for the 80s. Like, I don't think that an adaptation of that book is so grim and so dystopian, it wouldn't have worked in the 80s. I guess it doesn't really work now either. But you were kind of talking about in your video when a remake actually does work, like BSG. And I think it's, when there's the creator, the director or the writer, the showrunner, whatever the case is, they have an actual vision and a creative idea and a story that they want to tell. It's not just, let's just refilm this same book, this same movie, recast a few, gender swap or race swap a few, throw in some new CGI and let's re-release it. That doesn't work. But when you actually have a story to tell, like with BSG, it was not it was his original story, his idea story that he wanted to tell. That wasn't just a refilming of the original. And so I think that in those cases it works. You have to have a creative vision, and that is severely lacking, whether it's a remake, reboot, or what they're calling an original story, which is, those have been kind of lame too. So yeah, I think they just suffer from this lack of, a creator telling a good story.
Absolutely.
You know what would have been cool is like in sort of a Blair Witch style to make The Running Man like a reality show and just air it on TV, even though it was scripted. That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Like, like it would have been like Survivor, but the book adapted into the movie, and you watched it every week like you were watching a real show. That would have been really cool.
Yeah, take a new take on it.
Yeah.
Right? Take that idea, but do your own.
Yeah.
That would have been great.
Hit. Yeah, that would have been a big hit. But
yeah.
No, they fuck it up. It's amazing. Doug Nelson, anything to say about remakes, reboots, and sequels? Oh my.
Well, let's see. Why can't there be something new? Well, those take ideas, talent, skill. Yeah. That's tough to come by. But it's only if there'd been an example of a classic Schwarzenegger movie being remade. Oh, right. Total Recall. Remember that? Yeah. But that's the thing, is like certainly there even classic stories. I mean, it's set in stone for what it is, so there's several films based on classic stories and that sort of thing. And of course, certain things like Sherlock Holmes and the like gets redone a lot. And but when a movie really hits it, as far as the medium of film goes, like maybe like Gary suggested, a television series would have been a better approach. And in regards to Running Man. But for the most part, once that's happened, it's very, very hard to overcome that. Even though you're saying, well, this is going to be a more loyal adaptation of the novel or something, that sort of thing. It's all well understood. But nevertheless, like even like the 10 Commandments, it's always going to be Cecil B. DeMille. You could do all kinds of stuff, and what have you, but it's like, but Charlton Heston.
Brenner, for God's sakes.
Right. That whole thing is like he just captured it. That's that. So you want to do a TV series about it? Maybe, I don't know. But a movie, it's going to be very tough for you to approach that. So it's just, you can't rely on that. And so like the Schwarzenegger Running Man, as far as moviegoers are concerned, that's Running Man.
Right. 100%.
So and you put a bunch of money into it. Tron, of course, we understand. Tron and Badlands, both of those were movies that my expectations were so low. Then when I saw it, I was like, it's all right. It's all right.
It's all right.
They're stupid aplenty. The most thing with Tron is like, well, you're supposed to be a sequel, remember? You forgot, didn't you? And then Badlands, well, the usual things. And then, it was some cool stuff in it. And, the girl didn't bother me as bad as I expected. I was told she was going to be horribly woke and all that. And then, well, it was all right. But there was stupid in it too, so, but ultimately that's another thing of reproach. Like Tron refused to be a sequel and Predator refused to be Predator. It's like Gary says, hey, look, the brand's established long ago, and that's what the brand is. If you're going to pursue a brand, you got to give them, the brand. You didn't.
No, that's absolutely right. It really is spot on. And I mean, it's like, well, I always say this, it's like a woman marrying a man hoping to change him. Well, if you buy a franchise, don't try to then change it. Don't try to mold it into something it never was. Otherwise, why the fuck did you even buy it in the first place? It's crazy.
Right.
You
Now, I'll
know?
give them props for the narrative, the plot or whatever. It's like shaking it up to that where you
I
take it
do
from
too,
the side of the predator, because, otherwise you're telling the same story over and over again.
Right.
So, all
Right.
right, you made an attempt. They tried. I'll give them that. But it's Predator. It's got to be rated R.
It should be, yes. And
Sorry.
that's its woeful shortcoming, Doug. Absolutely. Sean, anything to add about this?
Well, yeah, going to what Doug said about Cecil B. DeMille, that is very much like Jeffrey Hunter will always be Jesus Christ and not someone else.
Right.
So Jesus Christ was in command of the Enterprise?
Yeah,
Yes.
Jeffrey Hunter was was it King of Kings or what? It was
Yeah,
one
King
of
of
one of
Kings
them.
is the
King of
one. That
Kings.
is,
Yeah, he
Although
played
Max von
Jesus.
Sydow did a great job too. So
Yeah.
So those
Um,
Colossians had a lot of nerve screwing with the Lord. I'm just going to
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah.
This whole
Godless.
remake thing is just gotten so. I mean, they're really going to the bottom of the barrel. Not that Running Man is the bottom of the barrel, but I mean they're scraping hard to find the last remnants of things to do. Bottom of the barrel is a bad choice of words. They got to stop. The
Yes.
only thing that's giving me a little bit of hope that maybe they've gotten the message on this is that we've got a movie coming out in March called Operation Hail Mary, which looks like it's an original idea. The trailer looks really good. It's a cool and different story. I don't know if anyone's seen that trailer or read about it, but it looks compelling.
Looks great. It's a book.
I'm looking forward to it. It's from a book?
Yep, it is from a book.
Okay.
I've never even heard of this.
Yeah,
Wow.
the same guy who wrote The Martian.
Okay.
Science fiction writer. It's called Project Hail Mary. It actually looks really good.
It does, yeah. You guys should check out the trailer for that. It looks good. Ryan Gosling is the main character, and he's kind of an everyman who gets sent up into space and he finds stuff out. It looks pretty cool. New.
And he finds stuff out.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to spoil.
You don't want to spoil it. All right, fair enough.
Even
At
in
least it's not
space, you
Pedro
can find
Pascal.
stuff out.
Yeah.
What was that, Doug?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it looks good. So maybe there are, I know there's a lot of good writers out there that just have been pushed aside and not let in the room. So
Yeah.
the
good ones.
Yeah. So assuming that Hollywood got that message, we're not going to see the fruits of that for another year or so, or maybe just now we're going to start seeing these things come, because everything we're seeing now was greenlit 4 years ago.
All right.
So
Yeah.
let's hope they can survive that long.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
let's hope Operation Hail Mary is good. Osaka Chandal, anything to add about any of this remake, reboot, and sequel stuff?
So the new Predator movie was good as just a sci-fi movie if you didn't say it was a Predator movie. But the moment you said it was a Predator movie and we saw what it looked like, I knew it was going to be bad. Tron, it's not a Tron movie if Tron's not in it, and it was nothing but a fashion show, especially the way it was marketed. Even here in Japan, we were like, what the hell is this? We're not going to waste our time. We'll just go watch something else. And if you do want to watch a more entertaining Predator movie, watch Killer versus Killer, the animated film, which is, at least, that was a better story.
Right. I've heard that the animated Predator movie is actually pretty good.
Yeah. So that one was actually better. And basically, they showed different events in history where the predator species interacted with humans. But I don't want to give it away because it'll ruin the rest of it. But yeah, it was just really it was a lot more entertaining, a lot more fun. I didn't regret watching it and then oh my god, I wasted an hour to see this kind of thing.
Well, that's interesting. That's true. There's this part. I will spoil one part of it in the Predator, Killer of Killers animated movie. Historically, the biggest kill that the Predator ever did was getting into the writer's room of The Last Jedi. And boy, Boy, the whole fucking, franchise of skull spine just hanging there by Kylo Ren's helmet. It's just
Mhm.
it's a bloody kill. It
Didn't
was
somebody do a
bloody
Batman
kill.
versus Predator as well?
Yeah, that was a college
the
student. They
fan
made
film.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
they just made it for fun, and it was way more entertaining than that. Especially the actor who played Joker did a great job.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
no,
are you
that
guys
was nice.
talking about that Sandy Calora
The short.
Batman with wasn't it Walter Koenig's son was Joker?
No
Oh,
kidding,
really? I
really?
didn't
Yeah,
know
he
I
was
think
he was
that was
really good in
him.
it.
Wow.
And then that was really good.
Yeah.
That was really, really good.
It was. I really enjoyed the Batman costume in that. That's how
Yeah.
Batman should
Yeah,
look.
he was supposed to do. I think he was in the running to pick up the DC universe franchise back in the day. I remember them talking about that. A friend of mine knew his agent and used to talk about him a lot. He was real close to getting it. It would have been him before Zack Snyder.
Oh man, that's
Oh,
too
wow.
bad because
Yeah.
even just that little bit of style and that short thing, it was so much better.
Right.
Yeah.
There was a speech that George R.R. Martin gave during it was like a special. They gave tribute to Stan Lee in the collection of Stan Lee's work, and he talks about how he was inspired by Stan Lee. That's what actually made him want to be a writer in the first place. And then he said there was something that he learned from Stan Lee, which is about why remakes are never going to work, because no one's going to have the same love and passion that you put into your character in your story that you birthed out into the world, and it's just going to be basically like an abusive foster parent only taking it to collect the check.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he believes that remakes and stuff like that are just going to fail. They're never going to match up or light a candle close enough to the original or surpass it. And yeah, it kind of seems like his words are coming true.
Yeah, that's true. The only way that would work is you find incredibly talented, very hungry young writers and young directors who this is their big break. Then they'll put every fucking thing they've got into something a movie like this instead of giving it to, old school, hacks and established, guys like, Abrams and stuff that suck up everything. And it's just another job to them. Give it to somebody who it's his break for his whole life. And then you'll start to see
you
the
have
right
to
thing.
have
You find
the
a young
same kind of,
Scorsese, you find a young, Coppola, Lucas, that really, it's like, oh shit, right out of film school or right out of a festival, and it's just like their big Hollywood break. They'll bring it. They'll bring it.
Here's the other thing with that, Doomcock. You have to have studios that are willing to take a chance. That's the other problem is studios aren't willing to take a chance on somebody new as well. They want something that's sure thing.
That's true. That's true. And one of the biggest problems with sequels, prequels, and remakes is that all the art aspect of cinema and movie making is left out because IPs now have an expiration date. Like, let's say you guys bought the rights to make the Buck Rogers movie, right? Well, that only lasts for 10 years. And if you don't do something with it in that 10-year span, you lose the right to do anything with it after that. And the rights that you paid for revert back to the owner. So sometimes these franchises skip from place to place, or a movie or something doesn't get made in a certain amount of time. So they say, okay, well, we have to do something with this. Let's just make another version of the show or remake the movie or do something. And that's sad.
Yeah, that's why we get so much
because it's like you're missing the whole point of creating art. You're missing the whole point of creating something original and fun and exciting. And all these, people always forget these franchises at one point were something that no one had ever seen. So there are things out there that people are creating and writing that can be as awesome as these franchises. They may not be making $1 trillion in the first year they're released. It's a little bit of a time investment, but it's worth it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Often the thinking is that an established IP is one that you can bank on to to have the money to risk on something else. That's the thinking of it. It's just they rolled them out very terribly, very happy. And also, it's like they always give these interviews of I've always been very passionate about Buck Rogers, or something like that. And it's almost they never mean it. But if someone actually did, you might actually get something done there.
Right.
And if it's and your studio now has lots of money to play with, yes, take a risk on some young up and coming guys this is an interesting idea. I've never thought of that before, that kind of thing. And you never know, you've got the next Star Wars sitting there. You just didn't realize it.
Well, Buck Rogers, if they went back to the original source material and made it look like the Nolan, cartoon strip, with rocket guns and, the very, primitive, rocket, very colorful, clunky rockets and the anti-gravity belts and stuff and the helmets, and you made it extremely retro. And
a lot of it was almost
a breath of fresh air.
Right. A lot of it's almost steampunk looking when the original look of it.
Talk
Most
about
people
selling
borrow
toys
from Flash
again.
Gordon, but Buck Rogers was.
And we need another hot Wilma for Buck Rogers as well.
Well, she was very, very hot.
Yes.
So let's move on to our next story here real quick. Disney. This was a report from Fox Business the other day. It says Disney ditches diversity and DEI in business report for the first time since 2019. Now, I've been saying this for years on this channel that, woke is basically kind of going out of vogue. It was like a fever. And people have been in a woke coma, but now they're starting to, corporations are waking up. People have been burned by it enough. There have been enough losses that there is a migration away from this shit. And now in this article, they write, Disney removed the terms diversity and DEI from its annual business report for the first time in 5 years, Thursday morning. In the company's 2025 Form 10-K filed after its recent Q4 meeting, the words diversity, inclusion, DEI, or diversity, equity, and inclusion appeared 0 times. While the term equity appeared about 130 times, it was only used in a financial context. By contrast, the company's filing last year included a dedicated section on diversity, equity, and inclusion. It said, our DEI objectives are to build and sustain teams that reflect the life experiences of our audiences while employing and supporting a diverse array of voices in our creative and production teams, the 2024 report read. So they have also ended programs. They removed 2 of its DEI programs earlier this year, Reimagine Tomorrow, which was the one where they were busted on video in their internal company meeting talking about, spreading queerness wherever they could in their not at all secret gay agenda. They also ended the Disney Look, which I'm not sure what the hell that was, but this is a kind of a big deal, and it signals. I mean, look, Disney, Hollywood is like the woke, epicenter of the world, and Disney is like the point in Hollywood that is the wokest of the woke. And if they're starting to shift like this, then I think that means that the rest of the country has shifted quite a lot more. And I just wanted to get everyone's kind of opinion on this. Let's just go around the room. And then, Rob, you've also got a report on the Disney Q4 call and what happened to the stock. So we'll get to that in a minute. But it's a kind of a interesting time for Disney. Gary, you got anything to say about this story? I mean, it seems to me like this has been coming a while and that this was almost inevitable.
Well, knowing this company's history and knowing a lot of other companies that follow suit, it has to do with the political climate, if you will, whatever that may particularly be for a certain 4-year period. And, they're just going one way. And if that was to change, they'd go right back to it, in my opinion. That's how I feel about it. I mean, any way the wind blows, like that's all I have to say about Disney. I don't think they're starting to wake up. They just know what's good for them in the moment.
Well, that's interesting, Rob. What do you think about it? Because I think the rest of the the corporations are moving away from this, and it's not merely because of the political mood. In my opinion, it's also because of legal rulings that are basically pointing out that this is discrimination, and they keep doing this shit. They're going to be vulnerable to lawsuits and actions for civil rights violations. Well, I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
So I think it's a step in the right direction. I think Gary's right about some of the political.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For sure. But I think they're finally starting to read the tea leaves. When we get into this, you'll find that the movies didn't do so well. I don't think the parks are doing so well, and part of it's because of this woke agenda. And the other aspect of this is that for the first time, when we get to the report, you're going to see where their focus seems to be more on the investors with some of the things that they've got coming up, what they're doing with their dividend and buybacks and stuff. And there's a change in tone. Apparently, Bob Iger is going to be leaving in the next year. Hopefully, KK leaves in the next year as well. So I don't know who's coming in, but it sounds like Disney might be focused back on customers. This may be a step in the right direction. I won't get my hopes up completely, but it is somewhat positive, but I'm still skeptical like Gary is, where, if we get a change in a political climate in the next couple of years, Disney could shift right back. So I'm hopeful for now, but a little bit cautious.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that caution is warranted. I think you guys are right on that. But of course, if the political environment has changed, that means that the populace has changed. I mean, if all those people got voted in, then that's the prevailing mood of the country. So I mean, you might have
that, Doom. I mean, I think that the prevailing mood of the country has always been the same anti-woke thing. It's just been that they've been in power and forcing it down everyone's throat. And I think that they're gonna, if they do change, they'll probably rebrand their bullshit and call it something else.
Sure.
I mean, like, see, that's the real legal way around something. When you announce something and then that becomes taboo, you regroup, you reorganize, you relabel it, and you come out with a new thing, and then that becomes the new face of the same bullshit. I see that all the time, and I mean, yeah, we can remain hopeful about this shit being dead, but I'm sure they'll call it something else.
Well, I guess my point is, Gary, and this is open for debate, but it ain't working. And I mean, they can go ahead and relabel it, and they can go ahead and keep trying to shove it down our throats. But I think there's an immune system response societally at this point, and I think it's like pissing in the wind for them.
I agree, and I don't know that it working or not, and them not making money on things versus making money on things matters to them. I think that they're going to shove it down everyone's throat, whether they take the medicine or not. I really don't think that. I mean, their track record. You would think that someone who knows about business would identify the problem now as, okay, this isn't making us money. We need to stop. No, that philosophy is long past. I mean, we're like, what, 10, 12 years into this shit? They should have figured that out a long time ago. So at this point, I believe that they're just doing this on purpose to inject the narrative and the mission, and that's it.
Oh yeah.
So it's not about like, oh, this isn't making us money, we need to stop. It's well beyond that. They're going to push it to the end, and they're not leaving.
And yet, how long can they afford this? How long can theater chains afford this? Because there's a lot of empty seats out there every single week. Every
not
single
much longer.
week.
It can't last. It's a business model that just doesn't work. But I don't know that they understand that, or that even is a concern of theirs.
Until they reach a point where maybe it is. That's what I don't know if there's a point where where they just give up all pretense of making money. We still get things like weapons coming out. We still get here and there, and it seems like it's increasing. It seems like we're getting more and more decent.
I think there are some people out there who still understand that, all politics aside, how to make a piece of art and sell it as entertainment.
Yeah. I agree. And then one other thing I want to bring up Doomcock real quick is that Disney finally reached a settlement with YouTube for their streaming. That was big, and there was a big uproar about that, and a lot of people were blaming Disney. So this could also be part of their damage control with that, but their brand is still way down. I agree with Gary on that point. So
For sure. Heather, what do you think about this?
Well, I do think the removal of that language is a way for them to kind of ensure themselves or protect themselves from lawsuits.
Exactly.
If they remove that language, then someone can't say, "Oh, I was discriminated against because of this program." They'll say, "No, we ended that." Right? I do think that there's protection in that.
Mhm.
It doesn't stop them from actually practicing the same type of hiring, the same type of messaging. Now, I do think obviously the people at the top of the company have to know that they're losing audience. I mean, just the financial stuff that's going to be presented later. They're just not making money on movies. The streaming Disney Plus is a mess, so they obviously know that. I do think like a lot of these large funds like BlackRock and others, they did think initially that DEI was somewhat of a moneymaker because they thought young people coming out of colleges, this is what they want to see, it's what they want to hear, that's our new audience. I think they obviously all that is known now that it's not a moneymaker. There are some young people who have those beliefs, but I don't think it's as many as they thought it was. Clearly, older audiences don't want to see that. So that was part of these companies backing to support this kind of stuff. And so maybe if that goes away, maybe that does help somewhat. But Disney's been hiring people who have this mindset, who want to promote this agenda, who want the social justice message. They've been hiring like that for God at least 10 years. So I think it's going to take a long time to turn it around. But like you said, there are companies, there are artists out there. Hopefully we get more independents making
Right.
better films and stuff. I don't know about big corporations. I just don't know that they're able to do it.
Yep. No, that's a good point. Doug, any feedback on this?
Well, it was always said, get woke, go broke. It turns out that was prophecy. It was inevitable. There never was an audience for any of this. There was no market whatsoever. And eventually, like, Heather mentioned it, BlackRock and the like, they were the ones that were the backbone of this movement. They protected the losses until they couldn't. Despite the massive amount of funds they have access to, none of it is theirs. These are investment firms. And when the actual, owners of the money began to get nervous or upset, you got to respond to that. So eventually it fell apart. And this is where you are. But, it was called woke at its time, but it's an old concept. It's in some elements of it is ancient. It will continue. It'll come back in some other form or fashion. But they really went overboard. And, they took their masks off. They dropped their drawers in front of everybody. We all saw it. And what is seen cannot be unseen. And so they're paying a price for it. And, it's a long, complicated thing. It involves a lot of entities. It's mostly boils down to power and all that. But Hollywood was basically the propaganda vehicle for quite a bit of this. And they're paying a terrible price for it. And possibly it's destroyed it, at some time in the future. And, of course, we're in a technological transitional period. We always are. And we don't really know where this lands or what the platform, the framework of entertainment will be. And we talk about the generations lost. The habits have not been formed. So that's a lot of telltale signs of death, and they screwed around. And, the find out part is today. So,
yeah. Well said.
That's where you are.
Yeah, I agree. Anything to add, Sean?
Oh God, there's so much. I mean, everyone has said so much. I should have been taking notes, but everyone's made a really good point about different aspects of it. I think Gary's pretty spot on here, that they're going to put a different cover on it. They always do.
Sure.
there's a certain video platform that promised a lot of restoration of accounts and a lot of, we're back to free speech, and then the turnout, it was a complete opposite. So we can't know what's going to happen. Yeah, the writing's been on the wall for 12 years. They should have known in year 3 that this was not a good formula, but they kept going and kept going. And who knows why? I mean, the quote unquote modern audience has never been there. It never will be. And yeah, they're realizing it. And DC, you said something about, a shift in the country. I don't think it's really, I think Gary was right there. The country's been against this stuff the whole time. We're not any more against it than we were before. We're just sick of it. We're just so sick. Like, now we're speaking up a little bit. And yeah, maybe I think we've shut our wallets a little bit more. But I think the overall mood, I don't think anyone's attitude or opinions have changed. I think we're changing our habits and not rewarding any of that stuff anymore. But we'll see. It is going to take a long time to turn the ship around. Like, Heather, it's a huge ship. It takes years to make changes, and Disney's gonna have to clean house. We've been saying this the whole time. They got to get rid of all their senior management. They're gonna fire everybody and rehire them back. Get a new HR core. Change their culture and can they do it? Will they? I don't know. We'll see. But we are seeing some signs. We've got that great Mel Gibson movie coming up that looks great. The hunting season. We've got the Operation Hail Mary coming out. There's some really good TV on. I think we're going to talk about that later on what we're watching. So we'll see. Stay tuned.
Well, yeah, I don't think I'm explaining myself sufficiently, probably because I'm traumatized and a bit drunk after, the opening when that, GQ thing was out there. But let me explain. I do believe that the country has changed. But now I'm not saying that they supported this stuff all along. What I'm saying is that most people were living their lives in blissful ignorance of any of this shit and not thinking about it at all. You understand? Like,
Okay.
the political climate has shifted because it's been in so many people's faces for so long now that we are much more sensitized to it. You understand? That there's a much more active resistance to this shit. In other words, it's like a body that's been invaded by a foreign substance, and now antibodies have built up. You understand? That's my point. And so my point is, yes, they can rebrand it all they want. They can go ahead and dress it up in, pretty colors and put bows on it, and, try to slip it under the fucking door and in the mail slot. It won't make a goddamn bit of difference because now we can see it coming a mile away. And so they can call it whatever the fuck they want, but that shit has sailed. You understand? That's my point.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, everybody's a little more woken up to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what I mean by the climate has changed, because there was no more support for it, then than there was now, but people were living their lives. They just want to go to the movie and they want to watch their football, and everything has been touched and tainted by this shit. And so a lot more people have awakened to it. And I think no matter what they do now, we're going to see it coming. We're going to see it coming. And it's just, they're not going to have an easy time of it. And, they can keep trying to hammer and hammer and hammer, and their losses are just going to pile up. And eventually I have to feel, what are they just going to like completely go out of business? They're going to completely, because there's all these subsidiary industries like theater chains and, toy companies and everything else relying on successful product. And, if it all goes to shit, maybe then they'll change. I don't know. Osaka Chandal, anything to add to this?
I feel like the gaming industry caught on first, like to expose it when they exposed Sweet Baby Inc. and revealed the speech that the founder of Sweet Baby Inc. was saying, oh, if you force feed them, they'll eventually come around and like it and all this kind of stuff, to which the gamers are like, no, we're not going to like it no matter how much you try to force feed this crap to us. This is not what we want. You forget. If we don't want it, we're not going to buy it. We're the ones who invest hours and hours and hours of our time to play your crappy game. And if you're gonna keep changing it to giving us this stupid kind of agenda stuff, we're just not gonna buy your game. We have plenty of games we can replay again. And you can't really do that with a movie. It's like when your movie is like once you watch it, that's pretty much it. You move on to the next one. But a game you can go back and replay, and especially if the game has multiple endings or stuff like that. But for a movie, it's like the only time you really want to share it again is if it's like it was a powerful movie and it's something that stuck with you and you want to share it with your children. And that's how it becomes really beloved, because like it becomes part of like it was part of your childhood, so it becomes part of your children's childhood in a way, because you're sharing it with them. Like that's how Star Wars lasted for so long. Because sort of love from the fans who adored the original films, who shared it with their kids. So when this new garbage came out that's been all Disneyfied, with the exception of Rogue One, it was just like nobody wants to see that. That's not what we want. That's not our Star Wars. We don't know what this is, but it's not our Star Wars.
100%. Well said, Osaka Chandal. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting time. I think we can all agree that it's an interesting time when, things are shifting around, and God knows where they'll all, come to rest. But I feel like they've been, trying to sell the message relentlessly, for the last 10 years. The message has been delivered. And it has been accepted by who's going to accept it and rejected by who's going to reject it. And those lines are not going to change. And, I mean, it's like the fucking, Amway salesman that keeps knocking on your door every single day. And it's like, the first time, yes, we heard your pitch. We passed on the Amway. And every day that you knock again, you're just annoying us. That's basically woke in a nutshell at this point. And
it's worse when it's family doing it.
I do have a bit of good news, though.
Go ahead.
They released a sneak poster of Godzilla Zero.
Oh, Godzilla Zero.
Mm-hmm. It's from the same people who made Godzilla -1.
Yes, that makes sense. Oh, man. Well, that's going to be awesome. Yeah, check it out, guys. All right. Well, I tell you what, we've got some interesting gaming news coming up here. Looks like Xbox is toast, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it really looks like the console wars are over and PlayStation won. And UbiSoft, something's afoot at the UbiSoft. It was really, really weird. We're going to talk about that briefly. And then Rob is going to give us some news about Disney, their Q4 stuff, and the stuff that went on with their stock. Let's go ahead and get to some of these super chats, though. They're not going to read themselves. I've learned. Never works. You can leave them out all night and elves don't come and read them, like making shoes or shit. It just doesn't happen. I don't know why. All right, let's go ahead and get to some of these super chats here, folks. Thank you all for your patience, and thank you all for your contributions here. Let me go ahead and get to these. Hold on just a sec here, folks. Mr. Eagle Flying with a $20 super chat. Hail to you, Mr. Eagle Flying. He says several small things. One, happy anniversary to the Star Wars Holiday Special from 1978. 2, Disney suggests George Lucas runs the next Star Wars film. What? Where was this? 3, Stargate is getting a new TV show. Yes, absolutely. And 4, indie movies are off Disney per Paramount. Wow. Well, now that is very interesting. That is absolutely very interesting. I did not know any of that. Those are very interesting things. Thank you very much, Mr. Eagle Flying, and hail to you, my friend. Let's see. Wow. What is this? Disney suggests George Lucas runs the next Star Wars film? This I did not hear. If any of you on the panel have heard anything, we should talk about that, because I haven't heard anything about that. Where'd you hear that, Mr. Eagle Flying, in the chat? And Point Curation with a $2 Canadian super sticker of a pair saying cool and giving a thumbs up. Thank you very, very much, Point Curation. Hail to you, my friend, and God bless you for that super sticker and for all the artwork you've sent me over the years. Clint Skinner, 007 with a $5 super chat. Hail, Clint Skinner says the French just defiled Dracula. In this adaptation, to be shown in 2026, Van Helsing will defeat Dracula by talking him into suicide. The shame. So they're going to turn Dracula into Dragula and basically have him like dragged down by negative vibes, man. Wow. Dragula. The French, only from the French. Hail to you, Clint Skinner 007. Where the hell did you hear this, and why the fuck would they think that was a good idea? Van Helsing bums out Dracula so much that he kills himself. Wow. Sounds like a Woody Allen movie about, therapy or something. You know what I mean? Sit down on the couch, Dracula. Let me tell you about your dysfunction. Yeah. Oh, golly. What is the world coming to? By the way, did I mention a GQ cover? Go and check it out, folks. Descend into Madness. Been a channel member 27 months at the Dumentite level. Hail to you, Descend into Madness. Says November is middle of the trilogy month. Quintet. I know not of these parts 4 and 5 of which you speak. Hail to you, Descend into Madness. I know not of those either. Parts 4 and 5? What? Qua? What are you referring to Descend into Madness? I'm sorry, I'm dense. I received a modicum of brain trauma from the opening of the show. So I'm a little dense. I'm a little messed up. So you have to, yes, Sigvaldison, exactly. The GQ cover. The GQ cover. Bonzo Kilborn has been a channel member for a year now at the Dumentite level. Hail to you, Bonzo Kilborn. He says, Gary Ambrosia is like Cool Hand Luke. He slips away, but DC reels him in. And back in the box he goes. My question is, when does he eat the 50 eggs? Only Gary can answer that. I did not know that he had access to 50 eggs. But yeah, well, I will agree that Gary Ambrosia is cool. I don't know about the Hand Luke part, but I'll say Gary Ambrosia is cool. I will agree with that, Bonzo Kilborn. And who knows, maybe he's got 50 eggs stashed. We'll have to ask him when he returns. Sigvaldison, the high priest of the cult of Harvey, with a $10 super chat. Hail to you, Sigvaldison. He says, may I respectfully request this show be renamed to Harvey Cthulhu Presents Pop Culture is Dead, a show discussing new made-for-modern audiences crap. A Harvey Cthulhu production, TM. Of course, I want to thank Sigvaldison for his rare perception, his clarity of thinking, and he sees through the veil of Doomcock to the truth of Harvey at the core. Sigvaldison, of course, being the high priest of the cult of Harvey, is a deluded cultist. So, bear that in mind, folks. Not a whole lot different than, Manson, Kool-Aid, etc., and so on. Descend into Madness with a $5 super chat. Hail to you, Descend into Madness. He says, Harvey, your Perish in Flame order got mixed up with your Join My Ass Ram order. The place is in fire and ashes now. Sorry, dude. That's life. Okay. All right. Well, I don't believe you, but of course, that's what insurance is for, ladies and gentlemen. That's what insurance is for. We are farmers of corn. And he is, in fact, Farmer Harvey, the harvester of the ultimate crop of cornucopia every Friday night on Friday Night Frolics with some of the worst jokes ever crafted by, well, inhuman hands. Let's say that. Scott V with a $5 super chat. Hail to you, Scott V. He says, hail, Doomcock and panel. Thank the Lord above, they're making new Stargate. Now, please, for the love of God, don't fuck it up. Live long and prosper. Yes, that's what I heard. And I heard a lot of the, key people, creative people, actors are coming back. And I assume they're going to do it with great respect and fidelity. And knockwood, I certainly hope so. That is good news for Stargate fans. I'm going to have to brush off my set and and do a rewatch to catch up. Hail to you, my friend, and thank you for that good news. And London 19657 gifted an Overlord DVD membership to this channel. Hail to you, London 19657, and our friend Kurt James out there in the chat also gifted an Overlord DVD membership to this channel. 2 memberships tonight, at least so far. Thank you, London 19657. Thank you, Kurt James. And Michael Beacom with a $20 super chat. Hail to the learned and film scholarly person, Michael Beacom. He says, movie recommendation, saw a sneak preview of Dust Bunny by Brian Fuller. This is what you would see if Luc Besson and Tim Burton adapted Where the Wild Things Are after taking all the LSD in Haight-Ashbury, out in December. Wow. Holy shit. Well, that sounds like a hell of a recommendation. Anyone in the chat or the panel heard about this Dust Bunny? He saw a sneak preview of it. So you've seen the whole movie, Michael Beacom? Is that what you're telling us? I haven't even heard of Dust Bunny.
Yeah, it's news to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't heard of it either. I heard about the Masters of the Universe screening this past weekend, and people seem to like that, but we'll see.
What was the reaction, good or bad, to Masters of the
Very
Universe?
good. Very good.
Wow. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, shit, you see, maybe things are swinging around. I'm telling you. Hail to you, Michael Beacom. So did you see the whole movie? Is that what you're implying? That you saw the whole movie? And by your description, are you recommending it or not? Hail to you, Michael Beacom. Warachi with a $10 super chat. And hail to you, Rod Thunderheart. Hey, Rod, DM me the rest of your rant and I will read it. Rod, you're listening out there. I saw your post. DM me the rest of your rant and I will pick it up from there. So just let me know, dude. Let me know, okay? Warachi with a $10 super chat. Hail, Warachi. He says, feast for all in Xanadu. Codfish fry, all sauces, fries, coleslaw, hush puppies, beer battered cheese curds, roasted Brussels sprouts, toasted rye bread, pickled relish tray, and multiple beer kegs. Hail to you, Warachi, and thank you. This is a feast for all, not just for Gary Ambrosia, but for all of us. He brought enough to share. Now that's a mensch right there, my friends. Hail to you, Warachi. And Trevin Lane, who regularly saves the world on Friday nights, along with Susan Dolan and Stark of Iron, and gosh, a whole slew. Trevin Lane is an amazing guy. And with his $20 super chat, he says, hail DC panel and chat. I may not be active much in chat due to in real life drama, but I am listening. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Trevin Lane. Holy shit, man. I'm sorry. Hope everything's okay for you, brother. He says, Black Ops 7 is on track to win worst game of the year and is in a stiff race with Ghost of Yotai for the dubious award. Oh, man. I haven't heard much about Black Ops 7. So that's a good warning. Thank you for warning me off of that, my friend. Hail to you, Trevin Lane. And hail to Bacchus Gamer with a $1.99 super chat. Hail, Bacchus Gamer says, is it true, really true that Kurtzman is out? Well, I have a source who is contacting me, keeping me up to date on this stuff. When I hear something that I feel is definitive, I will let you guys know. I need to catch up with my source. I've been unable to connect with them for in real life reasons, but I'm going to check on that and see. There are a lot of indications that Star Trek is getting on the right track again. I will say that. There are a lot of indications that Star Trek is getting on the right track again. But, you know, old Kurtzman, he is like Christopher Lee's Dracula. Can never count this guy out. He is a slippery character, to say the least. And Jack White with a $20 super chat. Hail to you, Jack White. He's a anime and manga expert. He frequently contributes to the show. Hail to you, Jack White. And he says, hail, my lord, did you check out email with the link to the trailer for the Fatal Frame 2 remake I sent you? And the game series recommendations, the Tales series, the Devil May Cry series, the Dead Rising series, the Elder Scrolls. If you sent them today, then no, I haven't. I've been very, very busy today getting ready for this show, putting out a video and so on. I will go and check them out. I sent you an email. I hope that you got it today about the story I'm going to talk about this evening. And thanks to you for that. Hail to you, Jack White. And I will go check out the rest of that here after the show. Paula Veter Gamer has been an arch villain for 67 months at the arch villain level. Hail to you, Paula Veter Gamer, channel member, folks. He says Running Man should have been made as a parody movie called Postal 2 Tuesday, based on the Postal games with the Running Man twist. Would have been perfect. Comedic and violent, going postal at the situation. Yeah. Well, I'm a big sucker for Postal and Postal 2, and antisocial games like that. I think it's fantastic shit. And I think that's a great idea, Paula Veter Gamer. If that was there, I'd be in the theater watching it. No doubt about it. And yes, Don Lewis, there's a ray of hope that we're getting back on the right track. Indeed, sir. And I'm gonna check it out. And Valentine Puppy says, I'm gonna go. I don't know if I am welcome or not, but this was cool. Of course you're welcome, my friend. Hail to you, Valentine Puppy. He says, I love you all. Peace, and remember, stay angry. You're very, very welcome, Valentine Puppy. God bless you, my friend. And yeah, please stay here. I've seen you on Friday Night Frolics and want everybody to feel welcomed and appreciated. Unfortunately, on Pop Culture Breakdown, I can't kind of call out all of you individually like I do on Friday Night Frolics because I have a bunch of guests and topics to cover, but I see you, and you are most welcome. Hail to you, Valentine Puppy, and hope you did have fun tonight. Jack White, who is an anime and manga expert and an expert on gaming as well, but also a producer tonight on Friday Night Frolics. Jack White with a $50 super chat. Hail to you, producer Jack White, says, for a palate cleanser. Yeah, after seeing the GQ cover, I'm just saying that. For a palate cleanser, look up images of Elena Vance, Kasumi and Ayani from Dead or Alive, Rachel from Ninja Gaiden, Mira Jane Strauss, Ezra Scarlett, Lucy Hartfilla, Vanessa Enoteca, Mimosa Vermilion, Noel Silva, Mira Suau, Chloe Mansfield. A list of lovely ladies to cleanse the palate, as it were, after seeing the cover of GQ with their proclaimed Man of the Year on the cover. Hail to you, Jack White, and God bless you, producer, sir. Saul Schimek with a $5 super chat. Hail to you, Saul. He says, reading recommendation, The Chronicles of the Black Company by Glenn Cook. Film noir fantasy stories of a hard-bitten mercenary unit properly written. Thank you very much, Saul Schimek. Saul often tries to give you recommendations of games and books and so on off the beaten path. The Chronicles of the Black Company by Glenn Cook. Saul's got good taste, so check it out if you get a chance. And the Guardian of Azarath with a £5 super chat. Hail to you, Guardian of Azarath. He says, we got Predator, Killer of Killers, an animated movie done in Unreal Engine this year that is superior to Badlands. Yeah, I've heard absolutely fantastic stuff about Predator, Killer of Killers, Guardian of Azarath. So I am not surprised. I am not surprised. Hail to you, Guardian of Azarath, and thank you for being here tonight, my friend. And then Rod Thunderheart with he is a super executive producer tonight, a super executive producer with two $100 super chats in a row. Hail to you, Rod Thunderheart. And dude, I am absolutely blown away by these. Rod Thunderheart, thank you. He says, I know it's in our nature to cut a guy some slack. Give him the benefit of the doubt. Like maybe he was confused or just joking or really just needed a double-double. But this isn't that guy. These aren't those people, and those are not the Rockies. They make a lot of mistakes. They mistake our modesty for meekness, our kindness for consent, our nation for another star on our flag, and our love of a hot, cheesy poutine with their love of a hot, cheesy Putin. They think they bully us, threaten us, and push us around, but they do not know us. That artificially drawn line they keep talking about, not artificial, and it's not on a map. It's right here. This is the land that Terry Ran the Gourd sang about. This is the birthplace of peanut butter. And of course, he is a proud Canadian, and he is talking about Canada, folks. He's absolutely talking about Canada. And I will finish that rant when I check my Twitter here shortly. Hail to you, Rod Thunderheart. I will finish that rant here in just a little bit. But for right now, let's go ahead and stay tuned on that, Rod. I've got to pull it up here. Unfortunately, has anybody been having trouble with X after this latest update? My DMs have gone to shit. Honestly.
Yeah, same here.
Yes.
It's a mess.
It's a fucking pain in the ass, and it really pissed me off the other night because, you know, I have enough to deal with, you know, with technical problems and, you know, YouTube and all this other stuff. And, you know, it's just really galling when something I use as much as X suddenly just, it was working fine. And then son of a bitch, it just goes to shit. Now, all of a sudden, all the stuff that worked once upon a time, now it doesn't work anymore. You know, or like you can't have a fucking you know, conversation anymore because you have to wait 30 seconds or so for your own like reply to go through.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are they going to fix this? Does anybody know if there anybody going to actually fix this fucking thing to get it back, you know, to when it worked before they did the fix?
Yep. Get it right back to where we started from.
Because I would really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's not funny. I mean, it really bummed me out the other day. It's like, you know, I'm trying to communicate with people, and it's just so slow now. It's unresponsive. Like I'm looking at it right now. I'm trying to get it to load. It won't load. Yeah, it's just fucking gone. All right, here. So finally, here's the end of Rod Thunderheart's rant here. He says, let's see. This is the birthplace of peanut butter and ketchup chips and yoga pants. It is the land of universal health care and the bench-clearing brawl of innovation and optimism and getting her done. This is the land of the peacekeeper and the Shawinigan handshake. Are we perfect? No, but we are not the 51st anything. We are the first to unite in a crisis, the first to build bridges, not walls, and the first to stand on guard for thee. My name is Rod Thunderheart, and we are Canadian. Thank you. Along with SCTV, William Shatner, and the kids in the hall, Rod Thunderheart, proud Canadian. God bless you, Rod Thunderheart, and thank you, sir, for being here tonight. All right, let's get back to our regularly scheduled broadcast already in progress. Let me go ahead and take this super chat thingy off of here. So yeah, you know, there's a lot of shit. Interestingly, there's a lot of shit going on in the gaming industry. You know, we had this UbiSoft thing. Let me start with that, and then I want to talk a little bit about Xbox. Engadget published this thing last week. It was last Thursday. Something funky is going on at Ubisoft. And it says, it's been clear for some time that all is not well at Ubisoft. Between games not meeting the company's sales expectations, studio closures, downsizing elsewhere, and sexual misconduct issues. Ouch. It's been a rocky past several years for the company, but now it seems something else may be going on at the publisher. Rob, I'll be interested to hear what you think about this. Just before it was set to hold a call with investors on Thursday, UbiSoft said it was delaying its half-year earnings report and halting trading of its shares. It has asked Euronext, the European stock market on which its shares are listed, to halt trading from November 14th until it publishes its earning results, quote, in the coming days, unquote. Now, that's not good. I mean, it was like, and literally, from what I understand, it was like 15 minutes before this investor meeting was supposed to happen. So that's on Ubisoft's front. And hold on just a sec. I want to say this about Xbox, and I want to thank Jack White for calling this to my attention. You know, I've never been an Xbox guy, which is why I don't know anything about Halo, which has always been an Xbox exclusive, you know. But now there's a new development in the console wars, folks. Halo is going to PlayStation. And this seemingly means, along with a lot of other things, Xbox is cooked. You know, a Microsoft executive was quoted saying there's no point to even making more Xbox consoles moving forward. Xbox is sharing Halo with PlayStations. He says Microsoft is expecting them, Xbox, to make 30% profit margins, which is pretty much impossible because that's double the industry average. Xbox revenue fell $113 million year over year. Xbox hardware sales are down 29%. Companies are making like Xbox clones. Microsoft seems indifferent towards moving towards a next gen Xbox. Even Game Pass. Apparently, you know, there have been massive Game Pass cancellations piling up. Game Pass is like their, you know, subscription gaming service. The subscription model is bleeding money. It seems like there's a lot of upheaval in the gaming industry. I think this spells pretty much doom for Xbox. It seems like, I mean, that's why I don't know anything about Halo. It was always exclusively Xbox, and I've always been a PlayStation guy. So I guess, yay me, I guess I win. But first of all, I don't know if any of you guys out there in the panel gamers, or is it just basically me that's a gamer on this panel?
I haven't been a gamer in a long time. I don't know a whole lot about this.
I'm a PC gamer.
Just a PC gamer?
A little more PlayStation, but more casually, not really seriously. But I did hear a little bit about this, in that Microsoft thinks the future is more in that Game Pass arena. And I know it dropped off because they raised their price so much, but
yeah, they did.
They think that there's like a big worldwide market of people who can't really afford to lay out like $1,000 for a console, but they'll pay whatever it is per month to play games basically cloud-based. And that would be like the rest of the world, non-US. I don't know that that's for real, like really true, but that's what I heard from there. I saw an interview with one of their executives, and they were saying that they think the future is more like an online a streaming type model, basically, where people pay a monthly fee. They can play whatever games that they want. But I think it's overpriced because you know, for $30, you could buy a lot of games and play for a longer. I mean, like some of the big, more complicated games take a long time to play, and so for that amount of money, you could just buy a couple and probably play for more than a month, right? So I don't know that it's priced right, but they don't think the future is in hardware. They think it's more in the streaming of games.
Yeah, absolutely. And welcome, Andy Masterson, to the chat. It's good to see you, my friend. How are you? Well, you're muted.
I'm really looking forward to Wicked 2.
I can tell.
Where's your nose ring, pal?
The man of the year, Andy Masterson, ladies and gentlemen.
There he is.
Man of the year. GQ's
Just,
man of
just
the
don't
year.
put a helicopter above it, then she'll start crying and freaking out during an interview because the helicopter went by.
Yes,
Yeah.
apparently that I don't know anything about that.
I thought it was just the sunlight hitting her.
Well, it might Nosferatu superstar. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, Heather, it's interesting about Xbox, that things have kind of degenerated that much. I mean, I think PlayStation is thriving, the consoles,
Yeah.
I like consoles better than I like gaming on PCs.
Yeah.
Just because it's a lot easier, easier to hook up to your, big TV, better sound, and besides I sit in front of a computer all day and I don't want to do that in game at the same time.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm different. Maybe I'm an exception. I don't know. But for me, it's interesting. Maybe I'll finally play some Halo because, although I hear that Halo is pretty much played out at this point, that like the franchise is kind of dead. But Rob, what do you think about Ubisoft minutes before a call, saying, nah, we're canceling that and we're halting trading on our stock?
Not good. Not good news at all. So first of all, this is not financial advice. Not giving you advice. Talk to your broker. Talk to your financial professional.
100%.
There's already a story out there today. Media's that Ubisoft is going to resume trading and report their earnings on Friday, the 21st.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens. Granted, that's the day after Thanksgiving. Usually the market closes early that day anyway. But there's also, in a news article by Yahoo Finance, and I'm not going to read the entire article, but I'll just give you like one of the bullet points in the article. You'll find it on Yahoo Finance if you search Ubisoft. It basically says Ubisoft was recently removed from the Euronext 150 index, a move that can influence its visibility among institutional investors and active funds. So that's not good news either. When you're usually removed from a major index, that can hurt a company significantly. So
wow,
it's not good news what they did, but I don't know. I don't know what to expect. It's take with it what you will. It probably means that the earnings may not come in at forecasted levels, but we'll have to see on Friday. But yeah, the news out there is that it's going to resume trading on Friday. So,
and Ubisoft had a lot of woke kind of games and flops. Star Wars Outlaws, for example. Where they gave the the lead character, they made the female character, they altered what the artist had done and made her more androgynous and masculine, and Assassin's Creed Shadows, right, with the black samurai, the samurai of color, which also pissed off a lot of people. So the fact that this is happening is not entirely, I guess, unexpected. It doesn't surprise me, but I have no idea what the reasons are for it or what it means. I was hoping maybe, some of you who are business savvy could help us out with that, but I guess that's just the way it is. I guess we'll find out on the 21st. Okay. Well, good luck with that. I don't know. Should we talk about Disney Q4 or should we talk about some trailer reviews? Should we go ahead and do the Disney Q4 thing and then talk about Fallout and Moana, the live action teaser that they came out with? What do you guys think?
Either way, but Doomcock, what I just mentioned about it being delisted from a stock, Ubisoft being delisted from a European exchange, that's huge. That's big.
But they asked for it, did they just ask to stop trading? I don't understand. Trading.
Yeah, usually if a stock falls below a certain price, it could go into being delisted from a certain exchange.
Good Lord.
Yeah, so that's not a good sign.
Jesus. Well, is it? I guess there's better news for Disney no matter what. So let's do the Q4 report on Disney. What were the major takeaways from that? And then what happened to the stock, and where's the stock today? I haven't been following this.
Okay, so first off, we're not recommending stock. I'm just reading articles. This is from Yahoo Finance from last Friday. So it fell 7.8%. It was down to 104.67 today, down 1.5%.
Wow.
Basically, Disney reported revenue of 22.46 billion, missing analyst expectations of 22.83 billion. It fell 7% on Thursday, and it continued to fall. Basically, 6% revenue drop in the company's entertainment division, which includes streaming, TV, and theatrical businesses, contributed to the top line miss. Linear network revenue fell 16% year over year, while operating income dropped 21%. So, that's some of the highlights. Basically, the company said that its decline in operating income was driven by the sales of Star India assets, which contributed 84 million to results a year ago, and domestic linear networks also came under pressure from low advertising tied to weaker viewership and a 40 million decline in political ad spending compared to year over year, which is expected in a non-election year. Basically, their earnings per share came in a little bit ahead of expectations, but it still is kind of flat compared to last year. And basically, Disney is looking to do some investments. They're expecting in 26.6 to deliver double-digit adjusted earnings per share. The company expects to double its share repurchase target to $7 billion next year. And additionally, the company announces a 50% increase in its cash dividend to $1.50. So they're banking on some big things for 2026, but Q4 didn't meet expectations. And it was
Well, but
flat.
I mean, I looked over some of this stuff, Rob, and I heard that there had been a drop, like kind of that big drop the day after. I mean, I don't know. It didn't seem that bad to me. I don't understand. I was just hoping to get some insight. I mean, why this would happen? Because I don't really. I mean, it seems like there's been worse news before, and it hasn't reacted like this. I don't get it.
Yeah, I think the thing about it is that Wall Street was expecting it to come in a certain level, and it missed that level. And that's what happened. And the fact that it was flat year over year, the entertainment industry portion got rocked by the lack of success with the movies this past year. The parks didn't suffer as much as we might think they would have because the cruise line did really well, but who knows? The parks could drag that down in the next year. We're also getting past the Hulu merger. So you're already getting past all those new subscribers coming in from Hulu to Disney Plus. Now, they're saying stuff about streaming, that their new platform with ESPN and Hulu and Disney Plus. I don't know how that's all going to work out, but apparently the next year is going to be their real big push for it. I think that the other thing that they said that at the time of this article, they hadn't reached an agreement with YouTube, and they finally did.
Right, they have. So
which is a
settled.
good thing. Yeah, but that was a concern for investors as well. How long was that going to drag out as well? So in the articles that I read, so we'll see. I don't know. I mean, honestly, Doomcock, when I look at some of this, when the entertainment industry portion, I see that with the movies, and they were shit this year. So that's a reflection of it. But it looks like what they're telling the investors is that they're making different efforts with the business side of things, because they're coming out here telling us they're going to increase the dividend significantly next year, which is interesting from this call, which is all public. And then they said that they've increased the buyback, which when companies buy back their own stock, you're having less shares out there. And when you have less shares out there, it generally means the price of the stock will go up. So it's one way to help by reducing the supply. And that's a significant portion that they're buying back. So it'll be interesting to see what that does. Now, increasing their dividend, that means they've got to have some profit somewhere. We'll see. It may be that, Avatar is a big movie that they've got coming out. They've got Marvel movies that are supposed to be big this next year.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe banking on all that for 2026. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I don't, we've heard bombshells that were bigger than this, but I think that the problem is that with what happened for this fourth quarter, they didn't hit the expectation, and Wall Street actually had an expectation. They didn't hit it. Whereas the other times, Wall Street kind of had an expectation. They kind of met it or found a way to
Okay.
make it. So that's
Well, this is why I don't fuck around with the stock market. I don't I don't understand it, and I don't like to gamble. So there you go. It's just not my cup of tea. But let's segue into an upcoming Disney project, a live action remake, God almighty, of Moana. So Andy Masterson sent me this trailer, of which I was not aware. It's actually more like a teaser. It's like a minute long. Andy, what are you hearing about this? And we'll just go around and give our opinion. Me, I was I'm always underwhelmed by these things. I'm not a big fan of live action remakes of animated movies. What are they saying, Andy? What did you think of it? What's going on with this thing?
It looks like, for a change, they're basically doing a shot-for-shot remake, which is better than them adding new content to it, because they always change the story and make it worse. So basically, they're doing an animated live-action remake, because it's all computer animated. They do have The Rock in here wearing a muscle suit, I guess because of the tattoos and all of the fact that his heart probably can't take all the chemicals that he allegedly had to use to be so muscular for so many years. There's a lot of complaints from certain groups of people that the Polynesian girl isn't Polynesian enough, and she looks a little bit older than I would have expected her to, and in the animation, because she looks like a young girl now, and this girl looks like she's in her mid-20s, even though she's pretty young. But still, it's like it's going to be yet another soulless Disney cash grab. This with I guess they're really counting on this and Zootopia 2 to try and cash in a little something. I do find it ironic that they put these things out there and they're being completely overshadowed by things like the Legend of Zelda news and stuff like that. That's really catching the attention of people. I wonder if it's intentional. They from the competition, like kind of like raining on their parade, as you will. But yeah, I don't hold out high hopes for this. I guess this is the last grasp they have, that they're trying to find some way to cash in on what they already have that might be a winner, because they're certainly not coming up with anything new that's lighting the world on fire.
No, it's not. And I would like to ask Gary Ambrosia a question. Andy said he was at least comforted that it was a shot-by-shot remake of the animated movie, because at least that means they're not fucking up the story with anything extra. But on the other hand, is there anything more worthless in the world than a shot-by-shot remake? What the fuck is the point?
I agree. Look at Gus Van Sant's Psycho.
Yeah, I mean,
but Andy Masterson also mentioned that it was a cash grab, indicating that there would be some cash for Disney to grab, but we'll see. Yeah, I just saw the trailer for this, and it's funny that they call it a live action remake, because only 98% of it is CGI. It's there's so much cartoon in this. I don't know what is live action. I don't know.
They've changed the definition.
They're not shooting underwater. They don't have puppets or creatures or animatronics. It's cartoons made by a computer. How is that live action?
Well, the chicken looks kind of frightening too. Every time they try to do one of these animals, they make it into nightmare fuel.
Well, that's because it's an anthropomorphic version of an animal in the cartoon. It needs to just be the real animal. But the problem with that is it wouldn't be interesting, because that's why they anthropomorphize the damn thing. The whole thing is like the whole idea of making a live action version of an animated classic it's self-defeating.
And not only that, it's only 9 years old.
Yeah, that too. Well, that's ancient. See, Gen Z, that's ancient, dude. That's like
That's ancient, is it?
that's like we're
Every
winding
time
up
the
our
animal-
cars in 2018 or whatever it was. Like
The
that's
olden
when we
days.
start up our Ford Model Ts.
When the animal comes on, they should put subtitles in.
Exactly.
It's
That'd
so
be funny.
fucked up. I mean, 9 years old, and they're not. It's not even really live action, like Gary said. It's bullshit. Doug, what do you think about this? This seems like the height of absurdity.
Yeah, but if only they could have gotten a real chicken, you know?
I know,
I was
or a
gonna
real
do it.
live girl, or
One of those rubber chickens that makes the funny squeak noise would have been a better choice than that piece of shit.
Yeah, that's true. Rubber chicken.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the remake. So yeah, it's only 9 years old. Didn't they just do the sequel? An animated
Yeah.
sequel?
Yeah.
They
So,
did.
I mean, I what the hell? I mean, I guess eventually they run out of the cartoons and then they got to do the remake of the remake. I don't know.
A
Mhm.
remake of yes. They're slowly evolving towards, something that will be a shot by shot,
Yeah,
remake of a shot by shot remake of a shot by shot remake of an original.
So, Doug, you're predicting that they're gonna do the animated remake of the live action remake of the animated original.
Yes.
Well, they kind of already did, didn't they? I mean, apparently this one is the animated live action remake of the animated. Yeah, I don't know. I get lost in it all.
It's all lost in a wonderland of delight in the Magic
Is it?
Kingdom.
Oh.
Well, no, I was
Okay.
lying. You
Alright.
caught me. You called me on it, and I had nothing in my hand. That was a complete and total lie. Osaka Chandal, what say you about this?
But after seeing the trailer, it does look really like badly put together. But it looks like they are trying to copy frame by frame. What I've heard like people complaining about is her hair, because they said it looks because her hair is like extremely curly in the original, and then this one her hair is like kind of like just wavy. So a lot of the Polynesian um, people are really angry about it because to them that's a big insult to their culture because they're really known for their hair. It has a big historic value for their culture, the type of hair, the curls, like their proudness of it. So to be straightened away is why they're really mad. But they gotta understand the whole entire film is done under green screen, and green screen is not friendly to curly hair at all. So they
Interesting.
probably had her hair straightened for that, not to what some people are trying to say is, oh, they did it to whitewash her. It's like, no, they did it because she's behind green screen the whole entire time, and you really can't work with curly hair on green screen. It's really bad.
Who'd
Now,
have
why
thought you
didn't they
could solve that
CGI'd her hair?
problem?
I don't know.
Who'd have thought you could solve that problem by actually shooting it at a real location?
I know, right?
You mean on the
Well,
beach?
I mean, where do you
Actually,
find
go to
those
Hawaii.
guys?
everything.
It's not like it's live action or anything.
I know, right? I mean, can you imagine how
Gary,
can you
that's
imagine how
crazy.
terrible that would have been? Like the whole crew would have been like, "Oh my gosh, we're going to the South China Sea, and it's going to be beautiful, exotic place to shoot." They'd be like, "Oh, terrible."
Didn't work well for Kevin Costner though.
Sure, it did. Kevin Costner made a lot of money doing that movie.
Waterworld.
It's just astonishing. Why would you? I don't know. Why?
We'll
I
never
mean, just
understand.
go to the fucking location, you cheapskates. For God's sakes, you'll save on the CGI. It'll look a lot better. It's just basically another fucking cartoon calling itself live action of a cartoon that's only 9 years fucking old.
Yeah.
And the beautiful thing is, I've got an antidote towards having your pop culture, perverted and remade and repackaged and everything. Don't go see it. I never saw Moana, so I really have no fucks to give here. I don't have a horse in the race. I just don't care.
As I said,
I'm perfectly happy.
if you really want to see Moana, just watch the animated one. That's way
Yeah, and I
better
don't.
anyways.
Oh, we're good, thanks.
I'm not even gonna watch it.
No thanks.
It's not like it's that hard to get to Hawaii and shoot a movie. I mean,
Right?
You know,
You guys think you shoot movies by getting some cameras and filming actors acting.
Stupid boomers.
Yeah, I know, man. I know. Anybody have any comment about this? Any further comment? Go ahead,
Yeah.
Sean.
Well, kind of what Osaka had mentioned. I know there's a lot of uproar about the girls not Polynesian enough. Isn't it funny that stereotypes and generalizations are bad until they're not done?
The question is, how Polynesian is Polynesian?
Yeah. And we've seen this in other movies where people complain like, well, you didn't stereotype the character enough, damn you.
I know.
Okay.
Hey, I'm
I
just
wanna know,
happy.
like,
But about the trailer, I watched it, and one thing that occurred to me is I remember when a trailer for a Disney movie would come on the screen, you'd see the castle and you'd see the little flash of light and you hear the music. You're like, oh, now I'm just like, what now? It used to be like, they put that little logo and that little musical tone. It used to be like, oh, I wonder what they're coming out with. Is it going to be a new animated feature, some new classic? Now I'm like, okay, what shit am I about to see?
Right?
Yeah,
Put a drag show out in front of the castle.
well, they're halfway there.
Little
That's
up.
right.
Equivalent of walking into a room when your alcoholic stepdad is there and like, are you going to get smacked for absolutely no reason or not? That's what it's like when you see the Disney logo.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like what Andy said,
Don't hit
they
me.
have that at the boutique now already. The Bippity Boutique.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
You can already see it.
You just
Yeah.
see that logo and slowly you pull out the doll that you're going to point to where the bad touching happened. Just wait.
Hey, at least,
like,
at
okay,
least
let's see.
they've cast Zelda without the penis. So
yes,
So-
that was an interesting story.
Yes, that
They're
is
pissed, Andy. They're pissed.
apparently they're
So
pissed
bad.
off that they cast a woman in the role of a woman.
My God.
And I mean, has
What do they think?
GQ taught us nothing? In the end, has GQ taught us nothing with their cover?
Oh, God.
And yet,
So mad. She doesn't have a dick. What?
Yeah, no, she doesn't have a pee-pee. Ew. Yeah.
it's like what is the world coming to? They say, it's like it's like Hedwig and the Angry Itch never happened.
Oh, God. Oh, man.
It's like Divine never ate the dog poop.
Oh, man.
Yep.
Yeah, where's that?
Queen of the Desert.
Like it never happened.
Right?
Pink flamingos.
Oh,
I
God.
weep when I think that there are some that for them it never happened.
Oh, that's a shame.
Oh, Lord.
I was telling the Wrenches about that the other night, and they didn't know. They didn't know about Divine and John Waters and the incident with the aforementioned Poopy. It's true story, though, folks.
So glad
Wow.
we got to
Right,
that.
so, yes. Oh,
That
thank
shit's
God you
mild
informed me.
today,
Yes.
I know.
I mean, it's like that's just another Twitter post at this
What?
point. What are they protesting today? Eat dog shit against this person. Okay.
Oh dear.
Hell,
Oh
That's
dear.
on the buffet at the Disney commissary these days.
But the thing is that so they are pissed off that Princess whatever her name is in Zelda is actually going to be done by a woman. I don't know why they thought that it wouldn't be, just because if they bitch long enough and loud enough that it would happen or something. I don't know.
There was a particular actor that they felt looked the part so much and that they just were gunning for that guy to get the role, and it just didn't happen, and they lost their fucking minds.
It was
Well,
it was
actually-
one photograph of one
Yeah.
person that no one knew who the hell it was until someone like, hey, look at this picture. They look like
Right.
an elf.
Yeah.
There are
Wow.
reports. There are reports that this has been traced back to that same actor's agent who was promoting this as an idea.
Oh.
Come
The thing
on.
is,
Get
that's
at
the
it.
only picture that they actually look like the character. It's just that one shot. If you look
One
at the
picture.
other pictures from that same night of them in that same outfit, they don't at all. You can still tell it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
it's not
Okay.
really
It's
female.
just like when you
Right.
get out of the bar and you're into the street lights and suddenly whoops.
Yeah, right. I mean, ironically,
Oh,
the same
man.
actor turned down the prequel to Silence of the Lambs, like the Buffalo Bill origin story. Yet we want to do Zelda. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah, but
Right.
if-
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In the right
Well, I-
lighting, you can't see the bulge.
That's right. That's right. Light is unkind to the battle of the bulge. It's true. This is true. Yeah.
Now
yeah,
there's
no,
a
no,
movie.
it is a social media movement, the battle of the bulge.
The battle of the bulge.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
So, I can say, well, uh-oh.
It scared Doug away.
Mr.
Doug,
Wilson.
Doug laughed
Oh, there he
himself
is.
out of camera right there. Now he's back.
I know. Sorry about that. It happens.
So let's talk about something good. Fallout season 2. We didn't really talk about it at the time because, you know, a TV show based on a video game. Come on, what are the odds it's going to not suck to high fucking heaven? But you know what? Fallout is a good show. It's a fun show. It's a cool show. And I've seen 2 trailers now of Fallout, and it looks really, really good. It looks really good to me. I mean, every bit of it look exciting. I like Kyle MacLachlan, you know, being a villain. You know, Agent Cooper being evil Coop from, you know, the Black Lodge, moved all the way up to the future. You know, I love the vibe of the whole thing. I love the female lead. She was very good in the first season. Looks like she's good here. Walton Goggins, of course, is fantastic. The whole thing looks. I have nothing but good things to say about it. Let's just go around and give the trailer a review. I give it total thumbs up, and I don't have a single problem with it. Gary, I don't think you probably never watched the first season, did you?
I don't know really anything about Fallout. I've never played the game. When I heard that there was a TV show coming out about a video game, it's like I've seen Resident Evil. I'm like, that's just I used to play Resident Evil. Why would I want to? It doesn't make any sense. But I mean, Walton Goggins is a big star, rightfully so, because the guy is very talented.
Yeah.
And we need more actors like that. So yeah, I'm willing to try it out. Maybe did you want to start watching the show and talk about it if it's
I think
good?
we probably should. I think you'll actually be entertained. It's pretty damn good show.
Well, if we want to do that, then I'll go ahead and catch up on the first season, and then I'll start watching the second one if we want to start reviewing that next week or something.
Yeah, I think it'd be great. But if you don't enjoy it, don't watch the whole thing. But
I'll watch the
honestly
first
think
season.
you will.
I'll watch the first season. I don't know anything about the game, so it'll be a pleasant surprise for me. So.
Awesome. Yeah. No, I mean, do you guys agree? Rob, have you seen the first season? And
No, I haven't.
Wow.
And I'm not as familiar with the game. I'm like Gary, but one of the things I will say about the trailer and watching it that really drew me in and intrigued me is it seems like their main characters, they talked about their purpose. And that draws me in because that tells me that you got some kind of story in mind. And that's important to me, that you have, you know, a legitimate storyline and you're going someplace with the story. There's not just some free for all. Oh, hey, isn't this a nice nod to the video game? So I'll give the first season a try, and then we'll see what the second season does. So yeah, I'm in like Gary to watch it and give you guys a good review.
Well, fair enough. And I'm seeing in the chat, some people are saying LDog360I or L says, I dismissed Fallout as soon as the EFAP crew broke it down. It's Fallout in name and look only with horrible writing. Too many fooled by the window dressing. It's nothing like the games. I disagree about the writing, but I haven't played the games. So it didn't bother me because I've never played the games. And the reason I haven't played the games is because I've heard that they are spectacularly unstable and crash frequently, and most games end with a crash. So I don't know. Demo Man Chaos says the show cannot be less canon to the games, though. So many shameless lore variations. So I mean, if you are a fan of the games, your mileage may damn well vary and probably will vary. But I know nothing about the games, and so I really like the show. Heather L., what do you say?
Yeah, I love the show, and I've never played the games. I just watched season 1, and I was not expecting much because, like you guys said, sometimes, something based on a game, is the story's not that good. And so I think, kind of like not doing a true book adaptation because it's a movie, maybe you don't wanna do a game adaptation because you need to tell a new story. I think a lot of people who play the games do kinda like a lot of the lore nods, so I think it might be split on that, but I thought the trailer looked great. I really love the characters. I absolutely love the ghoul. So excited to get more of his motivation and backstory. I love the play of him and Lucy together because she's so naive and, you look at his facial expressions, are just priceless whenever she talks and comes up with something that's just really, like, so naive, it's ridiculous. I think the new Vegas sets look really cool. It doesn't look super CGI. It's a great mix of, action, kinda sick, gross stuff with, like, the nasty bugs and that, the gross mutated thing growing in the guy's neck, and, so sick stuff. It's got funny lines. The story's interesting, kind of their motivations and finding out the backstories and what happened, so I'm excited for the 2nd season. I think it's good, and, yeah, I know I've heard, game players are split, but I think it's been good.
Yeah, if you've played the game, you're probably going to have a different opinion or experience of it, but I never have. I'd like to. It made me actually want to play the games, and I understand
Yeah.
it'll be quite different.
And this
Sean,
is
have
on
you?
Prime?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay.
No, it's on Netflix.
No,
Right?
Amazon Prime.
Is it on Amazon Prime? Okay.
Okay.
Sean, what have you seen any of this?
I've seen a couple episodes of season 1 and I enjoyed what I did see. And my stepkids are gamers way more than me. I game a little bit, but they're rabid Fallout fans for the games, and they enjoyed the season 1 a lot. They really liked it. The acting is good. Really good cinematography in this stuff. I think Gary, I think you'll appreciate that. And it looks like they get the feel for the world. So I'm like Heather. I don't think a movie or a TV show needs to necessarily copy step to step to a game or a book. And I think games are probably a little more difficult than a book, because a game, you're talking hundreds of hours of experience, immersing yourself into that world. So I think, everyone experiences a game like that differently. So you can't duplicate that into a film because everyone plays a character differently. They take different storylines, they do all that stuff. And the Fallout games were very much so dependent on what you did in the world. So they could set up the world, set up the premise, and then play in it. And it looks really good. I watched the trailer. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
But we've all been fooled by trailers. So.
Yeah. Well, but I enjoyed the first season, like I said. And I think that the reasons that they made the changes they made, like for instance, it was originally China that nuked the country, whereas opposed to what they did in the game. In the show, and I think they did that for reasons I think it'll become clear to kind of introduce some personal dynamics and so on that wouldn't really be possible if they adhered to the normal story. Oksaka Chandal, have you heard anything or seen anything of Fallout the series?
Well, I kind of grew up playing it, so
Mhm.
I was, I know a lot of the game, and then I watched it, so I like them both. And I also listened to the creator when they were talking about the show. It takes place during the events of the game. It's not the same characters from the game, so of course, the show is going to have a different storyline because you're following someone different. She's from a different vault. She's a different character entirely. Each vault is different. There's many vaults scattered all over, and so she's just from one vault. This is just her story that we're following in the show. So that's what I found really, really interesting. So the people who are bashing it, like, oh, this didn't happen in the game, da, 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 it's like, that's because that happened to the other person in the other vault, not vault number 33. That happened to like vault number 77 or vault number 101 or like different numbers. Like they all have different things that happened in different vaults. So we're just seeing one of the vault survivors' perspective of what's going on in the show. So I think they did a really good job with it. It's funny, it's entertaining. She's not girl bossing it. She is very naive. And fun fact is, she's actually a gamer herself. She's voiced several game characters and she grew up playing games. In fact, Fallout was one of her favorite games to play. So yeah, they did a great job casting her. Just like they did a great job casting Nami for One Piece. She was a humongous One Piece fan and a cosplayer. So the fact they cast her for the character is perfect because she had so much love for that character.
That's fantastic. Yeah, absolutely. And I think it shows, and Nami is absolutely gorgeous. She's fantastic in the role.
Did you see the trailer for the season 2? It was really good.
Yeah. I'm very much looking forward to it. Very much looking forward to it. Andy, did you have you anything to say on this?
No, I'm just checking with my son right now to see if he ever played the game, but he said no, but I should. So I think he's going to jump into it. He said the same thing you did about like the crashing of the game. That's why why he hasn't played it.
That's exactly right. I mean, I own some of them for a console, but it's like, what's the point if it's going to just drive me insane because I get to a certain point, it just keeps crashing. It's not stable. Doug, did you see the first season of Fallout or at least the trailer?
I saw a couple of the episodes. I'm embarrassed to say that I didn't finish it, but I'm going to have to catch up on it. I liked what I saw, and the trailer looks cool and everything. Of course, it doesn't really tell you everything. It could go south. It could, it's unfortunate. But I really love retro sci-fi aesthetics and stuff like that. And it's taking you back to yesteryear when nuclear war was cool. And that's always great. Yeah. Plus, there's a lot of art imitates life with all these multi-billionaires building bunkers. What? Well, they must be big fans, huh? They couldn't possibly know something we don't. Yeah. But anyway, it's very colorful, very funny. There's a lot of potential for characters and crazy, wacky stuff. And but I never played the video game. But and when it comes to that, when you're married to an original source material, it's tough to go into another take on it. But on the other hand, when they change it up, you get surprises. When you already know what the outcome is or something of that nature. It's a little different for video games, but there's something that necessitates that to a degree. When it's too far afield to where it's disrespectful or mocking of the original material, then it's a problem. I would think so.
Yeah, I think that they changed the plot elements to better facilitate the story. It's kind of like, I mentioned this today in my video about, the Running Man, when I talked about Battlestar Galactica, the reboot where, Ron Moore gender swapped Starbuck, but it wasn't for virtue signaling or any bullshit like that. It's because it opened up a lot of dramatic possibilities in the story between her, Apollo, and his brother Zach and Adama.
Right. Whereas today they would keep the genders the same, but still pursue the love story.
Yeah. You are wise, Douglas Nelson. You are wise. You are absolutely spot on in this. All right. Well, I think we pretty much covered everything that we wanted to cover here before we go to our movie that we love, which I've got the videos working again, by the way, if you've noticed. Let's go to some of these super chats here, and then we will get to this movie that we love. Let's go ahead and do this thing, shall we? All right, folks. Thank you all for your patience. Jack White is an executive producer tonight on this Pop Culture Breakdown, anime and manga expert, Jack White. And I want to thank him for calling my attention to that Xbox story. That's fascinating. And it looks like I'll finally get a chance to play a little bit of the old Halo. And that's good news for me. Jack White says with a $20 super chat, he's got some more hot chicks here. Akari, I don't know how to pronounce this. Watanabe. I've always wondered. Watanabe.
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 Mhm.
Nami from One Piece. Nico Robin. Boa Hancock. Tina Shaw from Unnamed Memory. Honami Ichinoshi. Alice Lise. Lou Nebilis. Rit and Ruti from Banished from the Heroes Party. Mai Sakurajima, Toka Yatogami, and Hinata Hyuga. Hail to you, Jack White. I will go and look those up. You know, I do like hot anime chicks. I think everyone does. Who isn't, I guess, an anime chick? Edward Bailey has been an arch villain for 18 months now. Hail to you, Edward Bailey. He says, love the Temple of Doom. Anything goes. Yeah. You know, I have interesting feelings about Temple of Doom, and I'm looking forward to discussing it tonight. I sure as shit love Temple of Doom more than, you know, Indy allegedly 4 and Indy allegedly 5. Nothing of the kind, but I love Temple of Doom. I've come to be very, very fond of it. And Radioactive Actual with a $5 super chat. Hail to you, Radioactive Actual, says DC OHM looks like a lighthearted version of Sunshine from 2007. Reignite the sun from inside the star. What is OHM?
Oh, that Operation Hail Mary. The movie we were talking about.
Right. Operation Hail Mary. Thank you, Radioactive. This is the first I've heard of Operation Hail Mary, so it hasn't even sunk into my head yet. That's interesting. Thank you very much, Radioactive Actual. Matthew McGee with a $5 super chat says, we're getting a new Stargate series. Will it be well written, or will it get pronouns and gay aliens? Well, I think that the reason that people are so excited about the new Stargate series is because some of the original creators are involved with it. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I understand like they're actually getting real people that love Stargate to work on it. So we might be getting more of a Cobra Kai than, you know, an Acolyte. You know what I'm saying? I'm really hoping, Matthew McGee, that this new Stargate series, and this is the first I've heard of it, is today.
Yeah, I heard. So I saw it's 5 people who were like original writers, directors, showrunners. It's like the original people who worked on it. So it's not like some new, you know, bunch of people trying to do their own take. These are like the original creators.
Yeah, and one of the original producers said that he's going to have a bigger budget to actually be able to do some of the stuff they wanted to be able to do back in the late 90s.
That's fantastic. That's really fantastic. So it is cause for celebration. Cautious celebration, but celebration nonetheless. We'll see. Knock wood. I'm hoping it'll be good. And executive producer Jack White with a $5 super chat says, I would love to see a readaptation of The Dark Tower in the Bourne books. Yeah, The Dark Tower was ridiculous. They really fucked that up. They fucked up the movie adaptations of Dark Tower. And I think it's a good series. I'm with you, Jack. I would like to see a better version of that. He says he'd like to see a readaptation of the Bourne books. Well, the Bourne movies are pretty awful. They're shot really crappy, really bad. The action sequences, you know, just shaky camera everywhere. That's garbage. And
Matt
series
Damon.
recommendation. What's that?
Matt Damon
Yeah.
from Team America.
Yeah. Well, he's not the problem. It's the shaky camera. It's the cameraman that's a fucking problem. Yu Yu Hakusho, Gundam Wing, Gundam 00, and Black Clover. Hail to you, Jack White. I agree. Dark Tower remake. When? Rod Thunderheart with a 99-cent super sticker of a face looking astonished. Super executive producer Rod Thunderheart. Hail to you, sir, and thank you very, very much, sir. I hope I completed your rant to your satisfaction. Hail to you, Sifu Rod Thunderheart. And he's got a book out, ladies and gentlemen, called See Through Love. It's very good. I advise you guys to check that out. It's for sale online. Friesen Press, I believe. You might be able to get it on Amazon. I'm not sure. See Through Love. Believe me, it's well written. It's a good show. It's a good book. SFX F314 Sabertooth Raptor has been a channel member 13 months at the Dumentite level. Hail to you, my friend SFX F314 Sabertooth Raptor. And he says, Holly is lost. Overlord needs to create a studio. First movie, Mexican Iron Man and the Temple of Doom accounting. Next, Gary and the Lost City of Atlantis. I like these ideas. You know, Mexican Iron Man, he has been away. He is a very busy man. He's busy, you know, looking after his family and doing a lot of, business things and stuff. Very busy, but, he's always welcome back anytime he wants to come back, anytime he has the time to come back. But we love you, Mexican Iron Man, if you're out there, and we miss you on the show. Darksaber Force with a $5 super chat. Hail to you, Darksaber Force. He says, my favorite Jesus Christ superstar is Ian Gillan, the singer of Deep Purple. He was offered the movie role, but declined because of touring duties. Yeah, that's really too bad. The original concept album of Jesus Christ Superstar is, in my opinion, the best. It's musically the best. It's the best presentation. And I really, really love Jesus Christ Superstar. So, seeing a interpretation in Jesus Christ Superstar of Jesus as a Nosferatu-like female character is pretty fucked up to me. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a simple country supervillain. Don't listen to me. What do I know? Executive producer Jack White with a $50 super chat. Hail to you, executive producer Jack White, and a $5 super chat, 2 in a row. Thank you, executive producer Jack White. He says Iger took shots at Walt Disney in an interview recently. Pro and his team covered it in one of their videos. And one of the ways to fight against wokeism is by making documentaries about the people these ideas and theories originate from. He says Tim Pool talked about a study that was done that found 8 to 10% of the population is progressive. Only 8 to 10% of the population, according to this study cited by Tim Pool in one of his videos. Well, I don't know anything about this interview where shots were fired at Walt Disney. I mean, they're talking about the man, not the company, the original, Walt Disney. But I agree. I think that discussions and documentaries chronicling how these fucked up ideas and theories, came about are very useful, in forms of disinfectant, Jack. I think that's absolutely true. And a lot of times, you fill us in on this stuff as well. And Jack White adds with a $5 super chat and a $20 super chat, 2 more in a row. He says, because the people these ideas and theories originate from were giant freaks and weirdos and diddlers. He says, with this $20 super chat, thank you, executive producer Jack White. He says, the other reason people are rejecting the woke stuff is because of commentators like the Lotus Eaters, Viva Fry, and Robert Barnes, Connor Tomlinson putting a spotlight on the works of these freaks and weirdos. I agree. And I would humbly submit myself and my humble efforts into that ring as well. Although I talk more, not really about them per se, as the actual phenomenon themselves. The woke is applied in plots, movies, TV programs, books, etc., and so on. Clippy 789 with a $2 super chat. Hail to you, Clippy. This is addressed to Osaka Chandal and things that Osaka Chandal was saying. And Clippy says, Osaka Chandal, yes, 100% accurate. Osaka Chandal, Clippy is one of your fans. Just wanted you to know.
Yay! Hi, Cliffy. Want to help me push the button?
Yes, yes. See, now I'm a fan of Osaka-chan dolls as well because she's talking my language. She's talking about pushing a button, and it makes me very, very happy.
Hail to you, Harvey Cthulhu. Hail to you, Osaka-chan doll. And hail to you, Clippy. And Trevin Lane with a $10 super chat. Hail to the great Trevin Lane. He's an awesome guy. Trevin Lane says gamers noticed first about the woke shit in all of their, games and product because they practice pattern recognition more than the average person. The games take longer than movies to make, so it is only really noticeable now. Movies are just reaching it. Yeah, no, absolutely. Plus, games cost a lot more than movies. They're expensive, and you invest a lot of time in them as well as money. So when you're given, substandard bullshit woke product, it tends to rankle your ass, and you speak out about it a lot more readily. The gaming community is on the forefront of this battle. They really have rallied. They are driving that shit out of gaming. I mean, it's really they've had changes forced. They've driven companies out of business. Studios have closed. Hail to all you gamers out there. Keep on fighting the good fight, folks. And I'm going to start trying to cover more games because you guys are doing such a hell of a job in protecting our pop culture. I got to salute you from here at the center of the earth. And Clippy789 with a $2 super chat says, I disagree. Sony stays ahead. Steam won big time. Yeah, Steam is big. I'm really not on Steam. I should get on there. I'd like to get one of those Steam decks and go to town on some of those games because, man, they have a hell of a selection. Steam is a hell of a community, from what I understand. So you're right. And Lightning Sketch Productions with a $9.99 super chat. Hail to you, Lightning Sketch Productions says, I'm scared to death of the AI apocalypse because I can't lose my job, nor would I wish for anyone to lose their jobs to a machine that never understands putting passion and feeling into art. Yeah, I know, man. It's just, AIs making movies would be essentially the same thing as what, Disney is doing with the so-called live action remakes of their classic cartoons. It's just absorbing information and reshaping it a little bit and then regurgitating it. You'll never get originality anymore. It'll always be things that the AI is referencing from its, memory, from its data points, from its analysis, just repackaged in, different ways, but ultimately no guts, no soul to it. You're absolutely correct. Hail to you, Lightning Sketch Productions. I share your fears of this shit. I really do. And I hope that it will flatten out. It's a novelty right now, but I'm hoping that this is not the future. I really do. Kamchi with a $1.99 super chat. Hail to you, Kamchi says, remember, 98% are political cults. Disney won't learn. They may not. They well may not. But the point is the public sensitized to it now? Have they woken up? Have they come to the point where, they're not going to play ball anymore? That they're watching this shit. They're alerted to it. It's kind of like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Once enough of the human beings left on Earth have seen, the pods for themselves and experienced the horrors of it. Well, now they know. Now they know, and they see one of those pods, they just smush it and move on. That's kind of what I think we're at this point. Knock wood. I hope so. Walter Tomaszewski with a $1.99 super chat. Hail to you, Walter. He says, why has Sony been so quiet regarding Paramount and Warner Brothers Discovery? I don't know. There's so much shit swirling around this stuff that I don't really opine on it because I really don't have any insight as to where it's all going to wind up. Sony, maybe they're just watching too. I mean, it's an extremely chaotic situation, and there's a lot going on. I really don't know what's happening, but I do know that there may be new hope and new life in the Star Trek franchise, and I pray to God that's so. I pray to God that's so. Kurt James gifted an Overlord DVD membership to this channel. Kurt, I want to thank you for that, brother, and I hope that you're doing okay out there in the chat. Kurt James with a $4.99 super chat. Hail to you, Kurt James, sir. He says, hail to this amazing chat, esteemed panel, Lord Doomcock, and Wrenches of Wonder. Thank you all for another Wednesday to remember. Kurt, you are very welcome, my friend. Hope you're doing well after your, brush with the hospital, and hope everything is back to normal and you are doing well, sir. And Michael Beacom with a $10 super chat. Hail to you, Michael. He says, Overlord DVD, I totally recommend the movie he recommended earlier, Dust Bunnies. He says it was not the usual thing. Brian Fuller did Pushing Daisies and Hannibal for TV, and this film is in that tradition. Search for the preview. Hail to you, Michael Beacom. Oh, so you're saying it was like some kind of preview trailer or something? I was under the impression maybe you saw the whole movie. Hail to you, Michael Beacom. And yeah, I loved Hannibal on TV. I thought it really was a hell of a show. I honestly couldn't believe it was on TV because it was so fucked up. It was so grotesque and violent in a lot of places. I couldn't believe that it was on a mainstream, network, NBC. I really admired Hannibal, the TV show. I don't know if any of you in the chat or on the panel watched it, but I recommend it. It was very fucked up, and Mads Mikkelsen, he's an amazing actor. I'll watch him. He should have been Dr. Doom, honestly. Darksaber Force has been a channel member 35 months at the Doomentite level. Hail to you, Darksaber Forces. What's everyone's opinion on the upcoming Steam machine? You're able to play Steam games straight on your TV like a console from your couch. Well, that would be my magic Steam machine. That would be my gateway onto it, to Steam. So I'm all for it. I love playing stuff on the TV as opposed to, the computer, like I said earlier. And shit, I think that would be absolutely fucking awesome. Descend into Madness with a $2 super chat says you need to do a demonetized rant about the Cynthia Erivo GQ cover. Yeah, I do. That really, I cannot believe that. I mean, I don't know what this fucking world is coming to. Don't get me started again, but I do not fucking understand a world where that is GQ's Man of the Year. Okay. I'm sorry. I just don't. You're probably right. Hail to you, Descend into Madness. I may need to do that, but even that might be too much. Michael Beacom with a $10 super chat. Hail to you, Michael. He says, regarding Dust Bunny, to summarize, basically a little girl hires next door neighbor, hitman Mads Mikkelsen. Oh, okay, cool. To kill the monster under her bed. Mads thinks she just saw his enemies coming for him. Oh, all right. Let's go back to the panel on this because I want to hear what you guys think of this. Because this is I don't know if you heard this, but listen to what Michael Beacom is telling us about this Dust Bunnies movie. He says a little girl hires next door neighbor hitman Mads Mikkelsen to kill the monster under her bed. Mads thinks she just saw his enemies coming for him. He's wrong. Sounds like maybe one of the greatest films I've ever heard of.
Sounds like a great story. Yeah. I'm in.
I'm in.
Interesting.
So Kathleen Kennedy was under her bed?
Well, I don't know. Maybe. Did y'all ever watch his TV show Hannibal on TV?
I watched Dead Like Me. That was one of his.
Yeah. And Pushing Daisies, he that wasn't one of his. But I respect the guy, so I'm kind of looking forward to this. But let's talk about something we don't have to look forward to. We've seen it. It's good. Let's talk about a movie we love. All right, folks, that movie is Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Now I'm just going to go ahead and say that, when I first saw this movie, I felt this is no prequel to Raiders of the Lost Ark. It makes no sense as a prequel to Raiders of the Lost Ark. Because he has experience with the Shankara stones. He said he doesn't believe in the supernatural, and then of course, he says at the end of it, I've come to understand their power now. So why the fuck is he so skeptical about the Lost Ark and everything? Why does he act differently to women in this when he's all shy and everything, kind of in Raiders of the Lost Ark? The way that I look at this movie is I look at it like it's not it's not really an Indiana Jones movie. I look at it as a pulp movie, a pulp adventure of a Indiana Jones like Doc Savage kind of figure, and I can enjoy it in that regard. And I certainly don't blame anyone who loves it straight as a, but there are definite problems to it being a prequel. But that said, I love this movie. I appreciate it for what it is. I appreciate the music. I love the opening. Anything goes. I think it's absolutely fantastic. It's a hell of an entertainment. And our own film scholar, Gary Ambrosia, is going to tell us a little bit about this movie. Gary, do you love this movie?
I absolutely love this movie, and I think what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to make an alternate version of this movie and just change the damn date from 1935 to 1937.
Fair enough. Yeah. Sounds good.
I think that works because then you can actually enjoy this movie.
I think you're right. I think it might be that simple. I'm
simple
simple-minded. A simple solution for a simple-minded supervillain.
Yes. I do agree with your points too, but it's still badass.
It is.
All right, here we go. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, the prequel to the greatest movie ever made. Starring Han Solo, Data, Steven Spielberg's wife, and the woman who single-handedly destroyed Lucasfilm. There she is. Written by Willard Huyck and Gloria Katz, the writers and directors of the incredible and often overlooked Howard the Duck, which should have been nominated for 16 Academy Awards. Directed by Steven Spielberg, produced on a $28 million budget, and bringing in $333 million during its worldwide box office release. Boy, these were the days. These were the fucking days. 2 weeks after the release of Raiders of the Lost Ark, George Lucas and Steven Spielberg began developing the story for the next Raiders adventure. Having just been through a divorce, Lucas decided that he wanted the next film to be very dark, much like his second chapter of the Star Wars trilogy, The Empire Strikes Back. Having worked with the husband and wife team Willard Huyck and Gloria Katz on American Graffiti, Lucas hired them to write the screenplay for Temple of Doom, not only because of nepotism, but because the married writers had an interest in Indian artifacts and culture. Lots of the major action sequences that were deleted from Raiders of the Lost Ark, such as the river raft scene and the minecart chase, were shelved from Raiders due to time and budget constraints, but appropriately dusted off and inserted into Temple of Doom. Originally scripted to return was Marion Ravenwood, played by Karen Allen. However, due to the tradition of James Bond, the cinematic and literal father of Indiana Jones, always having a new girl in each film, they decided to go with fresh talent. Ultimately, the movie would become a prequel rather than a sequel, so Marion's presence would not have worked anyway. We all know that Indiana Jones was named after George Lucas Husky. Short Round was named after Willard and Gloria's dog, so Steven Spielberg decided to name Indy's new love interest after his dog. And then he married her. Harrison Ford got into the best shape of his life for Temple of Doom, training daily for months with body by Jake Steinfeld. Apparently, Steven Spielberg joined in with Ford during his workout and managed to pull off the body of a teenage boy. Having attended a casting call being held at his elementary school, Ke Huy Quan was brought along to help his brother audition for the part of Short Round. Ke spent most of the audition helping his brother perform for Kathleen Kennedy and Frank Marshall. However, he did not realize that he was completely upstaging his little brother and ended up getting the part himself. He was a huge fan of Jackie Chan and spent several hours a day in martial arts training for his action scenes.
Wow.
Originally intending to shoot in India, Robert Watts, the production designer, found every location needed in the actual country where the story took place, including the Amber Palace in Jaipur, which would double as the Maharaja's palace. There was an issue, however. The Indian Film Commission is very strict on foreigners coming to their country to shoot a film and required a full review of any intended script. Watts was told they could not use the word Maharaja in the film, which irritated the producer to the point where he chose the country of Sri Lanka instead. Every location was found apart from the palace, which was achieved through a matte shot and a courtyard built on the backlot at Elstree Studios in the United Kingdom. That's it right there.
Wow.
Many of the locations of the film were chosen by Spielberg because they were the same locations used in David Lean's The Bridge on the River Kwai. For the scenes where Indy learns of the evil that has taken over the country, the actor playing the village shaman did not speak English. Spielberg had to read his lines off camera and pantomime hand gestures for the actor to simply repeat. This is why there is such a long pause between his lines during delivery. As successful of a gag as the snakes in Raiders was, Spielberg knew they had to top it. Given his affinity to terrifying his sisters during his younger years, the director decided that bugs was the answer. Not only could he gross out Kate Capshaw and the audience with a feast of giant insects, live baby snakes, and monkey brains, but he could immerse the actress in tens of thousands of bugs, dumping buckets of cockroaches, centipedes, and flying scorpions on the poor, helpless actress.
Oh,
Yep. The 007 stage, one of the largest sound stages in the world, was used to build the Kali Temple and mine sets. The mine tunnels, ironically, were recycled 1 year later for the final Roger Moore 007 film, A View to a Kill. During the palace fight with a Thuggee guard, Harrison Ford herniated his back, which nearly immobilized him and forced the production to temporarily shut down. He was flown back to Los Angeles, where he received a controversial papaya enzyme surgery to relieve his injury. During this time, Spielberg shot the conveyor belt fight using Ford's stunt double and stunt coordinator Vic Armstrong, and later shot close-ups of Ford to insert in the scene. Ford's surgery, although successful, was later discontinued as the majority of patients receiving it became paraplegic. How about that?
Oh, geez.
All you need is this experimental surgery and a ton of cash. Understanding that his friend Steven Spielberg had always wanted to direct a musical, George Lucas kicks off the film with a Busby Berkeley dance number. Broadway star and choreographer Danny Daniels, fresh off of Pennies from Heaven, starring Steve Martin and Christopher Walken, who was a student of Daniels, was hired to train Kate Capshaw for the big number. Months of tap dancing and choreography were all for naught when the vintage dress that Capshaw was to wear arrived on set and it was just too tight to dance in. The dress was one of a kind, made by famous Broadway costume designer Barbara Matera from vintage 20s and 30s beads and sequins, and costing somewhere around 5 figures to make. The dance number was originally slated to shoot first. However, the schedule changed and it became the last scene shot after the crew returned from Sri Lanka. The dress was, however, needed in the scene where Indy, Willie, and Short Round are camping out beside the elephants. The dress, along with Willie's clothes, are seen hanging behind her in the scene. During shooting, someone discovered that the entire back of the custom dress had been eaten by the elephant.
Oh my
Matera
goodness.
was flown in to repair the priceless item, and the official insurance claim made by costume designer Anthony Powell was dress eaten by elephant.
Wow.
The mine tunnel set was built with a circular track, which was much like a small roller coaster and would provide medium to close-ups of the main characters during the chase. In order to show the massive scope and scale of the scene, Industrial Light and Magic was tasked with building a 1/12 scale miniature full mine tunnel set, about 60 feet long, and photographed the miniature mine cars using a modified Nikon still camera fitted with a film magazine that could travel in front of and behind the miniature mine cars on the same track, and photograph the puppets, which were all animated using stop motion. That was incredible.
Wow.
When I watched the behind the scenes of this, they had a Nikon camera on a little tiny miniature railroad, like a little
Mhm.
model train, and they would advance it forward and snap frames, and they would shoot that entire thing with stop motion. The
Yeah.
whole thing shot with stop motion, and the way that they've Dennis Murin, the ILM guy, he knew exactly how long to keep the shutter open in order to photograph motion blur for each frame of that minecart chase. And when you watch it back, I don't know what's real and what isn't. I
Yeah.
really don't. Like, I mean, some of the stuff is so incredible. The stop motion minecart scene, I really can't tell the difference. It's one of the greatest effect shots that ILM has ever done, in my opinion.
It is. It's
Yeah.
absolutely incredible. I mean,
It's amazing.
it
It's-
shouldn't work that well because
No,
of
it
motion
shouldn't.
blur.
It really
know?
shouldn't work that well. I mean, it even like bounces and jitters, and I don't know how they did that. That was all done optically, folks. That's all done with they modified a still camera, a Nikon still camera with a snap-on lens, one that people take, pictures at a wedding with.
Yeah.
And they put a little film magazine on the back of it. And it's on a little tiny miniature railroad car, and it just followed in front of or behind the puppets.
And
I
then
can't believe
adding
it.
the matte paintings behind it with the lava and stuff that looks so realistic.
Oh
as
man,
well.
yeah, the matte paintings are incredible too. They really are. Again, it's all done. An artist is literally like, holding his thumb up and painting something on a big sheet of glass, and
Mhm.
they're double exposing it onto a piece of film.
And they have to know how the colors are going to shift on film.
Right.
They can't even paint the right colors.
Right. And then the poor son of a bitch that's doing the optical print has to color correct it if it is shifted.
Yeah.
It's so much work. It's so much work. Anyway, we have more slides. There we go. Luckily for the production, an engineering crew was building a dam along the river of one of the locations in Sri Lanka. Frank Marshall was able to employ their crew to build for them an actual suspension bridge that sat 150 feet above the river. After the scenes were all shot, the final scene for the bridge was Indy cutting the ropes and the thuggies all falling to their deaths, eaten by the alligators below. The bridge was rigged with 4 explosive charges that would snap the suspension cables exactly at the same time, and several dummies were dressed in the thuggy costumes and placed on the bridge. As an added detail, the dummies' arms and legs were animated to flail around with battery-powered electric motors. Before the bridge was blown for the shot, the motors had to be rigged to run only as the dummies fell. This was done by attaching a rubber doorstop to the bridge cables with a string and then wedging the doorstops into the motor, which prevented it from running the arms until the dummies fell, therefore removing the doorstop and activating the arms. 8 cameras rolled for one take only of the bridge collapse, which was a success and one of the most incredible effects in the film.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Did they
my
have a
final note-
speaker in there with the Wilhelm scream that played?
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
My final note: despite the very dark aspects of the film, the MPAA did originally issue a PG rating for Temple of Doom. This caused a bit of a controversy, seeing as children were going to see a man's heart getting ripped out of his chest. According to Steven Spielberg, he called the head of MPAA, Jack Valenti, and asked if there could be a rating which would sit in between PG and R. This suggestion led Valenti to create the PG-13 rating, which was later given to Temple of Doom after its release.
Very cool.
I thought that this was the first PG-13 movie. However, that was not the case. This caused the controversy. Spielberg called Valenti. They came up with it. And then later on in the winter of 84, I believe it was Red Dawn that received the very first official theatrical PG-13 rating. But apparently this movie did receive a PG rating when it was released, which is pretty incredible.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty darn incredible because, I mean, even Spielberg was saying there was the scene where the guy's getting burned in the, they're lowering him into the lava pit. That scene, apparently the effect was so good that they created an animatronic of the actor screaming, inside that little cage. They had the flame shooting up and the guy catching on fire, and you could see every detail, but it was so good that Spielberg ran to ILM and said, listen, you got to do what you did for Raiders, with Belloc. You got to put some flames over this thing to try to hide the effect because it was just so horrific. And they did. So once again, saved by the fire shot that was dissolved right over it, kind of like Raiders. The original print of Raiders, you saw Belloc's head blow up without anything obstructing it at all.
Mm-hmm.
But, they had to add the fire coming out of the arc, which kind of mutes the effect a little bit because you see the head blow up like Scanners, like it's pretty damn brutal. So apparently they had to do the same thing with this torture.
Well,
victim,
it is brutal, dude. I mean, it's extremely pulp,
it's hardcore. Yeah.
Shit.
It's hardcore. I love the dummies. Like when you watch that bridge snap and you see those guys falling, it looks like they're terrified to be eating those gators and watching the gators roll over and rip them apart. That was great. A lot of that's done with sound effects too. That's Ben Burt, the guy who created all the sounds for Star Wars. But this was the first Indiana Jones movie that I saw.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I had seen this one. So I kind of saw them in order if you think about it.
Yeah, you're right.
But I remember this was the one that my dad had rented it. And, he's like, hey, you remember, this movie, Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark? I said, no, I haven't seen it. I think I was about maybe 5 or 6. And he's like, well, this is the second one, but it's okay. We'll go ahead and watch it. And, he had rented it. And, oh, my God, this was awesome movie. Like, I think I was 6 years old when I saw this.
Oh, man.
Man, I was a huge Indiana Jones fan after that, Oh, it was so great.
You weren't bothered by the heart being ripped out and held aloft?
Hell no, man.
Fire?
I love that shit. I laughed my ass off at that shit. I mean, my mother took me to see RoboCop when I was 7.
Well,
now that was actually a little bit devastating.
Yeah.
Watching Murphy die in the OR, that was a little too realistic. I mean, I was smart enough to know at 6 that this was just bullshit. It's like tongue-in-cheek humor. It's kind of like, it's a little bit campy. It's very realistic and dark, but there are moments of this movie that are pretty campy,
Yes.
It was always fun. You know what I mean? It's John Williams' music always makes it fun and exciting.
Oh, yeah.
It never gets like really depressing or anything like RoboCop. That's extremely graphic and depressing. But this is like, upbeat violence, so little kids can enjoy it. So I loved it. I fucking loved this movie when I was a little kid. I still love it,
Oh, yeah.
I love the opening scene with the Chinese gangsters. Those guys are great. When they're laughing at him and he just fires that shish kebab right into the guy's chest.
Oh, I
It's on
know,
fire.
man.
That was
That was great.
brilliant.
Kate Capshaw was gorgeous in this. She
She's
really
very
was.
sexy woman.
Yeah,
Her personality just is. But in the movie, I mean, in the acting is
Right,
it's
and that-
terrible. But I mean, she's a super sexy woman.
Gorgeous,
and you can
yeah.
see why Spielberg, he put a ring on her.
Yeah, yeah. Well, good for him.
Yeah,
good for him.
Well, I don't know about that. Frank Stallone was always telling me that they were always inviting Spielberg to the celebrity shootout, the shotgun shootout, and the only reason he didn't show up, he really wanted to go, but the only reason he didn't show up was because Kate Capshaw didn't want him to go because of the image it would create for her.
Oh, well.
So, it's like she's kind of got him on a leash.
Well, but look at her in that slave outfit, and slave. I mean, the harem, whatever.
Yeah, I like the red dress a lot better. That's my favorite outfit of hers. That looks.
I thought
good.
she was great doing anything goes. And
yeah.
Yeah.
She's good. You know, of the few movies I've seen her in, like Space Camp, I liked her. I liked her acting, not particularly in this movie. I don't really like the character, but you know, I thought she was pretty good in everything else she did. I loved Space Camp when I was a kid.
Yeah. No,
It was a fun
she's
movie.
great.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, Temple of Doom really screwed up Harrison Ford. I guess the herniated back started with the elephant riding.
Oh,
And
elephant
apparently,
riding. How
yeah, the
weird.
way you sit on an elephant when you're riding it, apparently the way he describes it was it sort of pulls all your tendons and back apart. Andy knows a lot about this. The way you sit just kind of like pulls all your muscles and tendons in the opposite direction that they should be holding. So that's when the herniated disc started in his back. And yeah, he did. The stuntman flipped him over during the palace fight scene, and that was it. He was screwed. They thought that the whole movie was going to be shut down. And yeah, they really thought there wasn't going to be a second Indiana Jones because of that.
Good Lord.
Yeah, so we almost lost our Indy.
God damn, that
would have been wild.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Well, great notes, man. Thank you very much for
You're welcome.
Doing such a great job. And I see that our poor Rob Wright got kicked out, but I'm going to go to him next. And by the way, Rob, we've never thanked you publicly, but Rob Wright is the one who does all the screen caps for the show. Since we've been doing it. Although I think at some point, I think Gary, you
took over for me. I was just, I was beat doing it because this takes, guys. I don't know if you know this, but this literally takes at least 2 days of work to do every week. So Rob was very kind to take this task over from me, and I greatly appreciate it, Rob. So thanks, buddy.
Yeah, sure. Rob, I just want to say thank you for all you do and for your judiciously placed happy faces over, the naughty bits. You're awesome. Thank you, Rob, and I really appreciate it. Then Andy actually works the slides during the show as well. I'll thank you in a minute, Andy. But go ahead, Rob. What do you think about this movie?
I remember seeing it as a kid, and I really enjoyed it. I saw the first Raiders when I was a little bit younger in the theaters, and then I got to see this, and it was a fun follow-up to it. Of the trilogy, it's my third favorite, but it's still a great movie, and I still think it's a great adventure. The interesting thing about this one also that kind of draws me to it is that the other difference with Indy is he talks about fortune and glory in this one. And so looking for things for fortune and glory rather than for the archaeological value of it or for some other purpose. And so it's interesting to see a different side of one of my favorite heroes of all time. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it. There are a lot of interesting things about this movie that draw me to it. Having been to India now and seeing it, going back and looking in on it, I recognize some more of the culture and some more of the drawings and the writings and stuff that I'm sitting there going, oh, wow, I remember seeing this in a temple or seeing this in some place in actually India, which is kind of cool. Fortunately, I didn't have any kind of meal like they had. I was really worried about that when I was going to go. So no snakes or weird stuff. Actually, the ice cream was actually pretty good in India, if you can believe it. But
yeah, it's a good thing you avoided the old Maharaja's revenge.
Yeah. I can't tell you how much bottled water I had. But I will say this, guys, Kennedy is in the first couple of shots. She's actually not in the foreground. She's in the background. She's one of the dancers, but she's got the real pale face, and she's kind of in the background of these. She wasn't one of the foreground dancers, but she's in there. So I verified it with the picture that they had of her. And I couldn't do anything with her face or anything because she's too far in the background to really do anything with it. But yeah, she's in there. But yeah, this movie, it's just a fun adventure movie. This is back when movies were fun. This isn't, the greatest Indiana Jones movie, but it's still one of the most fun. And I rank it, an 8.5 to an 8, and the other two are a 9 and a 10. Greatest movies of all time, but it's still a lot of fun. And this is what we're missing today. We're missing this fun adventure story. And the other thing I want to point out is a couple of years ago, I think right around a little bit after the pandemic, when you had some of the wokies going after some of these films, they started to criticize this movie at first, and then people pushed back on them, and thank goodness they did, because they were saying, "Oh, it's about making fun of this religion and this cult," and I'm like, "No, it's not. This is an evil cult, and it's set in India, and people pushed back on it, and it went away, thank God." But this movie is great. If you haven't seen it, I recommend watching it. I recommend watching the original trilogy of Indiana Jones movies anytime you can. It's a lot of fun, and this is what it was like when they made good movies.
Back when movies were great.
Mhm.
Once upon a time. It's a sad, sad commentary on the world. Heather L., what do you think of this movie?
This is just a great action movie, and yeah, it's kind of fun violence. A lot of the scenes are almost funny. But man, the work, like Gary was talking about, that they put into the special effects, like the stop motion and the background paintings, it's so worth it, because movies just don't look like this anymore. Like, it looks so realistic, and the quality is so good. It's so nice to watch this again after seeing all this crappy CGI that looks so fake. There's just no replacement for these kind of effects, and it's sad that they don't do this more. That we've got all this CGI now. That's what I really notice about these. But yeah, this is a lot of fun. I do think it's funny that Kate Capshaw actually hated the character of Willie. She said she didn't really know how to scream. Before this, they had to work with her on the set to help her get the constant screaming, but she really didn't like it. And I find it kind of the funny part about all of her character, which was pretty over the top, was Indy's kind of deadpan reaction to it constantly. Especially in the camp, is one of my favorite parts in the camp, where she's like running around screaming, and he and Short Round just keep going on playing cards and accusing each other of cheating. And Short Round's just like, "You cheat, Dr. Jones, you," and he's like, "No, you cheat," and she's running around like crazy, and they're just not paying any bit of attention to her. He just basically is ignoring her constantly. So I don't know. I find the dynamic between the two of them kind of funny. And yeah, Short Round's a great sidekick. So
Yeah.
this movie's so much fun. I really love it. I know it doesn't quite fit the character or fit the timeline, but just as a standalone adventure action movie, it's way up there at the top.
I agree entirely. Osaka Chandal, are you a fan of this movie?
Yeah, actually, it's one of my mom's favorite movies. When my sister had her kids, when they were old enough to watch it, my mom made sure they all sat down with their own individual thing of popcorn and watched it with them to see their reaction first time, and they were just like blown away. They all started pretending they were Indiana Jones. They all had like a toy rope to pretend it was a whip. It was pretty funny.
Well, it kind of inspires that. I mean, I was Indiana Jones for a while after seeing those movies, run around trying to get a whip, I love these movies. Andy Masterson, you a fan of this?
Oh, of course. This is classic adventure. Went to see these with my dad. He grew up with those serialized films from the 40s, 30s, and 40s, and so this was a great little throwback. Lots of great elements in here. Of course, the dance numbers in there, where our lovely Miss Kennedy she's in the back. She's not put in the back there because she wasn't as good of a dancer, but like they set her back by the back door there because rumor had it she was very good at all that back door work. So like it just seemed to be the right place for her. And then of course you had Willie in there screaming, and it wasn't shocked to find out that it wasn't Steven Spielberg that helped her develop that scream, but more likely someone else on the set. But she was quite entertaining with her performance there. I must say I've enjoyed her much more in her performances than like in some of the things that she's done afterwards, where she actually speaks her own opinion. Because that makes me a little. As I sit there and I think about poor Steven and all the fun that he missed out because like she just gave him the stink eye. I'm like, well, hopefully there was a trade-off for him. This terrified me about the ever getting the option of having Indian food. My brother once asked me if we wanted to try the new Indian restaurant down the street, and I said no. I watched Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, and he said, "Good point." So we didn't go see it. This was very graphic. Man, I never wanted to smack a kid so hard. Well, there was that time at the one wedding reception, but like when the little prince there was like having such glee, stabbing the voodoo doll, it was really great watching Short Round stick that nice like burning ember on him and snap him out of it. Of course you had the great action sequences with Mola Ram and his appearances, hors d'oeuvres for the alligators. Man, ripping the guy's heart out. That was pretty interesting. You're sitting there thinking to yourself, like, wow, like he just pulled this dude's heart out, and the flame things, like dropping down into that little basket thing where you're getting cooked up and stuff like that. It was that was pretty frightening. I guess I was a teenager when I saw this one because I think I was like 12 when the first one came out, and I went to see it with my dad. And so this one came out a few years later, so I was a little bit older. And but we weren't used to really seeing that level of torture that you see in this, and it's really brutal. And then you see some of those elements that are conveyed in there, and you think like, wow, this is really is a terrifying proposition that you're put in. A lot of fun. It's nonstop adventure. Yeah, the airplane escape is a little bit convoluted with the raft, but not to say it couldn't be done. But I don't want to be the one to try it. That was probably the only thing that I kind of lost my suspension of disbelief from. But the rest of it's a whole lot of fun, and especially where they get Indy's like he's in the trance and he's got that sadistic look in his face, kind of like you picture when he's flying that airplane and crashing it into something. But he's probably at some of his best here, and it does. I like to look at this. I agree that it does not seem to fit with the Indiana Jones that we saw before, but in my mind, it kind of indicates a little bit of growth by the next movie, where he kind of understands a little bit more. Like, yeah, it's not for fortune and glory. There's a consequence to be paid with it. Outside of the obvious slip up there with the him not believing in magic or mysticism, after he just saw the Shankara stones, do that voodoo that they do so well. But yeah, it's a great movie. It's a lot of fun, and it throws you back into wanting to go see more of those. This has me. It's reminding me now they've got the news out that there's going to be another Mummy film with Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz, which I really hope they're able to recapture the magic of the first two, because it's of the same vein. It's got the same. In my mind, I would love to see like a shelf of action figures of Indiana Jones and Rick O'Connell and a couple of other of those swashbuckling adventures that we saw in some of these films. Highly recommend it. And remember, there's only 3 Indiana Jones films.
That's right. That's all there are. There's just 3. Never forget. Doug Nelson, Mr. Nelson, what say you about Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom?
It was all right. Well, it's all been said. It's the weakest of the 3, but so what? It's really good. It's fun. It's exciting, and it's Indiana Jones. You get all that good stuff, and then of course, when you delve into it, all the technical achievements. Oh my God, man! Geez, hopefully they got their pay, But overall, yeah, over time, I was like, well, I guess just think of it as a sequel for a while, But there's still some things, more than a prequel because it doesn't quite work that way. But the other element of it was, well, he does get put in that trance. So Maybe he had some amnesia and stuff, you know. He just kind of forgets all about that later.
Nice try to save there. I like that.
Yeah, see? But anyway, it's it's great. And yes, there are only 3 Indiana Jones movies. Does it need to be said? I don't think so. As for the Stones, well, they don't really do a whole lot.
Oh, look, there we are.
It's great as a paperweight. It can work as a doorstop. However, if you need open bypass surgery, well, you can't go wrong with pulling that out. And look, I don't want to hear any crap about cultural appropriation. They had 3 of them. They can do without one.
That's right.
By the way, thanks, Gary.
No problem, Doug. I got tons of the Stones, you know.
Oh yeah, you're
Gary's got stones.
Giving them
He's
out.
got stones.
Cranking them out.
Look, he named one Mick and Keith, and
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, Gary rolled his eyes at that one. Sean, what do you say about this movie?
Oh, yet another of my favorite time of movies. 83 to 86 or so. I mean, just what a gem. This, if you think of movies that define the best of the middle part of the 80s, this has got to be one of them. It's a lot of fun, despite the little problems that it has. The matte painting work on it is gorgeous. Like Gary was talking about. I didn't know all that about the Nikon camera and everything. That's incredible stuff. Absolutely incredible. It's fun. It ends on a happy note. Like there's a little, where Indy's like, from what I took at the end when he goes, I understand their power now. I took it to mean he was talking about how it brought their community together, because all the kids are there and reuniting with their parents. It's kind of good feeling there. Hey, I mean, it's fun. It's just a fun movie. It's always a good watch. I still get a little grossed out at the bug seeds, when they open the monkey brains and everyone's like, "Oh, monkey brains," and they just eat it. I'm feeling what Kate, what
I know it's really awful.
It's really. I remember being really grossed out about it as a kid, but good movie, man.
It is a great movie, and I'm really glad we were able to do this tonight.
I have a theory about Short Round. I don't know if I've talked about this before.
No.
So I think that Short Round is the old Chinese guy that sells the gremlin or the mogwai to the dad.
Oh.
I think that maybe World War II, when Indiana Jones became a colonel in the U.S. Army, he worked again with Short Round to figure out what this mystery was with these little things that the Japanese were putting on airplanes in the army, and they ended up being, one of these little mogwais.
Whoa!
And Short Round, he literally had to take this one mogwai that was creating all these problems for World War II, including this crazy old man named Fetterman who was talking about one of his planes falling apart during a bombing run, and that's where the whole story comes from. But literally, Indy's like, you, Short Round, you need to, this is your people know all about this. You need to take this and you need to protect this thing and make sure it never gets out again. And there you go. That's why the old man's little grandkid, he's got the little New York Yankees hat.
Oh man, I love it.
That's a great.
I got a question.
There you go. There you go.
Is it going to be connected to the Twilight Zone where it's on the plane?
Sure.
Into the plane?
Sure. Yeah. Why not throw William Shatner in there? That sounds good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
It's a great idea, but how do we fit in Cynthia Erivo and Rachel Zegler?
Hello.
They're gremlins.
Who do you think's going to play Stripe? Come on, man.
A little green paint, she's ready to go.
Right? I know. The only woman in cinema history to receive a glow up to play the Wicked Witch of the West. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I think that would have made a cool movie. The whole Gremlins thing.
At least a comic book or something. You could have tied everything together.
Right.
Maybe there's
Yeah.
like, they come from, a cave or a subterranean area in Asia. They could
Yeah.
have gone, into a cave, underground system that, maybe there's even a lost civilization down there. I mean, it really could be
Sure.
a whole movie that, a lot better than Crystal Skull or, God forbid, Dial of Density.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My dad actually just wrote, for fun, a fan fiction novel about Indiana Jones in later years, killing all the rest of the movies after Last Crusade, and basically he's out going after the shrouded Tyrann.
Nice.
That's the thing. So
Yeah. Yeah, Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis would have been a cool movie, I think.
I
Right.
think so
Or-
too. That was
That would have
where
been
I'd
cool.
wanna
That was
go.
a great game back in the day. I played that a few times, and that was a great story.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, I
Totally.
always imagined that you could transition it with Indiana Jones having two of his students come back to him for advice, and he, sure, like Atlantis, and then he could pass the torch to former students. who
Well,
are
that
all-
would be respectful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would
Yeah,
at
at the
least
very
been
least. It's
respectful.
just the elements of the pulp adventure. It's really stuck in the 30s and 40s. I
Right.
mean, you can certainly do that with an older hero and stuff, and you're transitioning to some other kind of adventures from a different era and that kind of thing, and be respectful, yes, to the old hero. But ultimately, Indiana Jones, 30s, 40s, that's where he belongs.
Right.
And of course, they
yeah.
should have pursued things like Atlantis, or if they'd have capped it off with he finds Noah's Ark, something like that, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That would have been a cool one arc to the other. And but
Mhm.
yeah, that's where it belongs.
But it had to be Saucerman.
Yeah, I know. Yes. A spaceship.
Putting it to the
Wow.
50s, yeah. But have you guys seen Charlton Heston playing Indiana Jones?
Secret of the Incas. Yeah.
Yeah. That one. It's like,
It's amazing.
Years
He's
later,
wearing the
this
hat,
guy-
he's
Oh,
got a,
wait.
jacket.
yeah, the whole thing.
It's pretty hilarious. Yeah, he's got the fedora and the leather jacket, and he goes to doesn't he go to like South America and a boulder rolls after him after he grabs a little
Yeah.
golden plate or something? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like it's
Like, whoops.
totally yeah. Whoopsie, George Lucas. Hello.
Yeah, I know. I mean, hey,
it's
if it
different.
had
The
to be
idol's
somebody,
different.
Charlton
Totally
Heston's the
different.
guy.
Right.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I thought Michael Douglas did kind of a good almost parody of him with Romancing the Stone.
Yeah.
That movie was
Yeah,
kinda
yeah,
indie-
That's where
indie-esque.
that movie came from. Was he was like, I see Harrison Ford's doing Raiders. I want my own Raiders.
Right.
Mhm.
And then they got Robert Zemeckis to direct it.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's
Yeah, it's
all
I think
right.
it's hilarious. It's
I think
fun.
it's
I
hilarious.
don't-
Yeah,
Good
it's
movie.
fun.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's not Raiders,
No,
but
no.
it's a fun comedy adventure.
Yeah.
I like it. I like
Yeah.
Yeah, I
it.
like it fine.
I
Yeah.
like when he says, "Ah, shit, the Doobie Brothers broke up."
Yeah. Well, the mudslide
I'm
scene
really
was always
pissed
my
about that
favorite
too.
part of Romancing the Stone, where they go down the mudslide and then he ends up in an interesting position.
Oh yeah,
Face
His
first
face
between
lands
her
right between her
legs.
legs.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how you knew it was meant to be.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, she was great in Body Heat, which is one of my
yeah,
favorite
of course.
film noir movies.
Well,
We
yeah.
did that one, didn't we? That's a great
No,
one.
we haven't.
we
done that
didn't
one.
do it. We've talked about it, but I don't think we did it. As
We
far
haven't
as the
done
movies
Body
go.
Heat?
I don't think so.
We need
That is
to.
a great fucking movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lawrence Kasdan, he got his he wrote it and got the chance to direct it because he'd done these other movies.
Hmm.
Well, that's definitely one for a future time.
Mhm.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get back to some of these super chats here. I hope you all have enjoyed our discussion of this movie. It's a classic. Go and recheck it out if you haven't seen it in a while. In the meantime, Kurt James with a $20 super chat. Hail to you, Kurt. He says, I can say how much I enjoy these events, pop culture and breakdown and Friday Night Frolics add so much to my life. Common sense talk, exceptionally interesting analysis, fun as fuck conversation, and just an enjoyable time spent among what I consider friends. That's how we feel about it, man. And Kurt, you're always welcome here, and it really makes us happy to hear that you guys enjoy the show, and it means a lot to us because I mean we're just friends hanging out here and talking, and we consider you guys in our crowd as well. You know, I mean, I look out and I recognize all your names just about, and new ones pop up, and I'm glad to have them. But gosh, you know, it's just a wonderful thing to be able to talk optimism, you know, in classic movies that we love in this segment. This is one of the most important segments on the show because it reminds us of what we had and what we're fighting for and what we hope someday we'll maybe get again. Goku McDuck with a 200 Mexican peso super chat, a 50 Mexican peso super chat, and another 200 Mexican peso super chat. Hail to you, Goku McDuck. I'm just going to read these all together, my friend, and I thank you for them. Goku McDuck says, my lord, guys, sorry to clarify, the bio series on Roberto Bolaños, Sin Querer Queriendo, is an HBO Max production, not Netflix. Plus, in the series itself, they address how he recycled scripts. I do suggest to watch the series. I'm actually gonna post this in the chat for you guys because my pronunciation is poor. But you may want to look this up if you're curious. There is the title of it. It's an HBO Max production, and thank you very much, Goku McDuck, for that. And Goku McDuck says, for me, what killed the gaming industry was Minecraft Steve in Smash Brothers. Besides wokeness, it has caused a quality drop in gaming. Really? You trace it to that? That's interesting. And then Goku McDuck says, here's another conflicted situation. I suggest you watch the newest stop motion movie, Frankelda. Frankelda? The visuals are beautiful, Tim Burton-like, but the story is weird, absent even. Watch it to bring your own conclusion. Something called, or Frank Elda. Frank E-L-D-A, Frank Elda. I've never heard of this. So Goku McDuck is sharing this with us. Frank Elda, a Tim Burton-like stop-motion animation movie. Thank you, Goku McDuck. I had never heard of this thing before. Goku McDuck then adds Osaka-chan. Oh, dear. Osaka-chan, Goku McDuck. All right, well, I'll read it. Osaka-chan, he says, sorry for hitting on you some time ago. I really wanted a Japanese girlfriend, but I remember doing it at Sonia's house when alive, he says. So apparently Goku McDuck confessing to hitting on Osaka-chan doll at some point.
Are you hitting on me?
That's what
No,
he said.
really.
I don't know. I only read these things, folks. I don't write them. I don't know. Goku McDuck. Then with 220 Mexican peso super chats says Minecraft Steve at Smash Brothers is a cash grab. So he is not a fan of this Minecraft Steve at Smash Brothers. And he says regarding Moana, if you don't like live action Moana, you are a racist. Yeah, I mean, that's basically it. That's what they'll say. You know, it's prejudice or something. Maybe it just doesn't really look that good. You know, I mean, what is the point of? I don't understand the point of doing this. Maybe it used to be that they used to wisely re-release Disney classic movies every 7 years into theaters, and that way, a new generation of kids growing up, between 7 years, they could come in and see it for themselves on theater screens. It seems like a brilliant idea. Now, I guess what they're going to do is remake the fucking movies every 7 to 9 years. Just do it that way. I guess that's the idea, for God's sakes. It's nuts. Absolutely nuts. Darren Verney with a $1.99 super chat. Thank you, Darren. He says, Doomcock, been subscribed for 5 years now. Hail to you, Darren Verney. 5-year subscriber, my friend. Thank you for being a subscriber for 5 long years, brother. I hope they were fun, and I hope you're a subscriber for 5 more. Hail to you, Darren, and thank you, my friend. Archer Merchant with a $2 super chat. Hail to you, Archer Merchant. Says new Stargate announced, but it's Amazon. Yay or nay? I think yay, because of the personnel involved. I mean, I don't think they're going to allow it to be, fucked up. I think they're gonna do this, kick the hell out of it. I think they're gonna really score on this thing. That's my hope. So Archer Merchant, I'm giving it a tentative yay and a thumb up. Udite 1 with a $10 super chat. Hail to you, Udite 1. Actually, it's a two-part super chat, two $10 super chats here. Hail to you, Udite 1. I'm going to read them both. I thank you for them. Well, it's basically a $20 super chat. He says, curly hair works fine with the sodium vapor process, yellow screen versus green screen. Also far cheaper and quicker. Green screen was only briefly cheaper decades before new light filters came out. They lost, yes, literally just misplaced, costly gear for sodium vapor, which is long obsolete now anyway. They're too dumb to look back, even though an outsider like me can do so easily. I didn't know this. This is interesting. So this would not be bad for curly hair. Sodium vapor process yellow screen is superior according to Udite 1. Kazuma Draken in the chat says the yellow screen was lost tech for a long time. Wow, son of a bitch. You learn things in this chat, ladies and gentlemen. You always learn things. I always learn something new from you folks out there. That's interesting. Wes Cagle with a $2 super sticker, a Bushiba giving a thumbs up. Hey, Wes Cagle, we've missed you, man. It's good to see you. Welcome back. Welcome back, my friend. And Kurt James with a $10 super chat. Hail to you, Kurt. He says, yes, haven't played the game, so my Fallout streaming shown option is not colored or diminished by comparison. Just canceled all my streaming services, so your review will be a great substitute, he says. Well, hail to you, Kurt James. Thank you, brother. We'll do our best to give you a good opinion on it. I mean, at this point, maybe you can find it on DVD or something, season 1, if you're canceling all your streaming. Hail to you, Kurt James, and thank you for being here tonight, man. And King of the Wicker People. Holy shit, the king himself is here, ladies and gentlemen, with a $9.99 super chat. Hail to you, King of the Wicker People. He says the first season of Fun Wild Ride, and Bethesda messed up the lore first because they bought the IP from a different game studio who made the first two. Oh, okay, interesting. So the IP's lore has kind of evolved as the game's ownership changed hands. Interesting. Sounds like a kind of a convoluted thing. I wish that they had just made it so it wouldn't crash, but so many people have said it's crashed. It gives me pause. I'd really like to play it. I really would, but I don't know. I have enough frustration without game fucking crashing on me all the time. Wes Cagle with a $2 super chat. Hail to you, Wes Cagle. He says, Kalima Shakti Kalima. Hail to you, Wes Cagle. Man, I always like to do that to my friends, dig the claw in their chest and go, Kalima, freak them out. Radioactive Actual with a $5 super chat. Hail to you, Radioactive Actual, says DC. Speaking of games, did you see the Star Trek inspired USS Defiant type exploration ship coming to Elite Dangerous next month? No, I did not. No, I did not. Radioactive Actual. Interesting. Elite Dangerous, huh? I know nothing about Elite Dangerous. I've thought about trying to play it or something, but I really don't know anything about it. Okay, now it just jumped on me. Hold on a sec, folks. I got to get back to where I was. Hail to you, Radioactive Actual. SP4H says, I'll send you a picture of it. Thank you, SP4H. Hail to you. And Angry Yeti TV has been a channel member of mine for 30 months at the Archvillain level. Hail to you, Angry Yeti TV. He says, I have played the Fallout games, and I thoroughly enjoyed season 1 of the show. Given the prevalence of multiple endings in the franchise, it doesn't make much sense to gripe about lore variations. I just hope season 2 is good. Hear, hear. That's how I feel about it, Angry Yeti TV. It's just like, well, I enjoyed the show. And shit, a good show is hard to find these days. So I'm sticking with it, man. Even if it violates, canon or something. Well, until I play the game, that's my canon. And Sean, I'm with you. He says, I've resisted playing Elite Dangerous. I'd get sucked in. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it looks really cool.
It's like a cool space game, right?
Yeah, total sim, multi thousands and thousands of players, and yeah, it looks a lot of fun.
It would probably like consume my life,
Mhm,
So
mhm.
I don't have time to do it. Hail to Azzy 451 and Hair Dark and TMAC Burninator and AMC out there as well. AMD, excuse me, sir. Demo Man Chaos, Chief Shadow 1750. Great to see each and every one of you out there. Welcome. Von Max, been a channel member 71 months at the Dumentite level. Hail to you, Von Max. He says, hail all. Forgot Fallout. Landman Season 2 just started. Every episode is great. Fantastic story and acting. Also, HBO's It series is not bad too. Well, yeah, I know a lot of we got a lot of fans of Landman on the panel here. There's no doubt about that. And I don't get the point of the It series because it's like going back in time and showing like all the iterations of It, before they killed it, which kind of ruins the whole. I mean, they're not gonna kill it. They're not going to kill it. So what are you going to do?
It's just showing the photos from the first stream when it first talked about it in the book. When the friend Michael, he has the book for all the photos in it. So the show is actually showing you what happened in those photos because we don't really know what happens in the photos. They're just pictures of incidents, but they never talk about those incidents. So that's what the show is about. It's just basically showing you what each photo that was collected over time, what's going on.
Oh, all right. Well, okay. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't sound. I don't know. I think the It story's been done, and I don't see a. I don't know. Goku McDuck with a 50 Mexican peso super chat. Hail, Goku McDuck. He says, I always wanted someone to invite my friend Games for You to a stream to talk about Minecraft Steve and Smash and wokeness in gaming, but he quit. Well, hail to you, Goku McDuck. I really don't know about Minecraft Steve or Smash or that kind of thing, but hail to you. And if he ever reappears, well, shoot me a line or something, dude. Shoot me a line on it. And holy smokes, Jack White is a super executive producer here tonight, folks. Two $50 super chats in a row and a $20 super chat. Hail to you, super executive producer Jack White. Dude, thank you very, very much. Jack White says, with these two $50 super chats and a $20 super chat, says, movies we love segments for LA Confidential, The Fugitive, Argo, Batman Begins, the original Spider-Man, Blade, Thunderball, Patriot Games, and Clear and Present Danger, Deja Vu, Enemy of the State, The Godfather, GoldenEye, Michael Clayton, Ray, JFK, Traitor, The Godfather Part 2, Taken, Sound of Freedom, Red Dragon, Rain Man, The Prestige, On the Waterfront, Dirty Harry the Enforcer, Humphrey Bogart the Enforcer, The Firm, Death Wish, Inside Man, The Martian, The Town, X-Men, X2, X-Men Days of Future Past, Zodiac. Man, this is quite a list, dude. Demolition Man, Demolition Man, The Dead Zone, The Client, Breach, Bloody Sunday, Beirut, Catch Me If You Can, Antoine Fisher, Casino, Copland, The Hurricane, The Lord of the Rings trilogy, Man on Fire, the original Star Wars trilogy, Ocean's 11, When. Hey, have we got any interest in Catch Me If You Can on the panel? Gary, do you like that movie? You ever seen that one?
Yeah, it's a pretty good one. I actually auditioned for that movie.
Really? No shit.
Yep.
It's
Yeah,
it's an
DiCaprio.
atypical kind of a Steven Spielberg movie, and also John Williams' score is quite different than most of the scores he's done.
Yeah, good movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie. I like it.
But that's a possibility. That's a possibility. I really enjoyed that movie. I've only seen it once, but I really thought it was good. What about Demolition Man?
That's a
Oh
fun
yeah, I
movie.
love that one.
It's too prophetic.
It's cheesy but fun.
Should we maybe do that one next week?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm good for that one.
Let's do. I mean, that's. Let's do Demolition Man. That sounds like a
I
fucking
like that
fun time.
movie.
Yeah, that sounds like a good one. And then continuing from super executive producer Jack White with a $20 super chat and a $5 super chat. He says, also movies we love segments for Castle in the Sky, Howl's Moving Castle, The Wind Rises, Ghost in the Shell, Akira, Patema Inverted, Princess Mononoke, Whisper of the Heart, Spirited Away, My Neighbor Totoro, The Boy and the Heron. These are all Miyazaki movies. Your Name, Weathering with You, The Place Promised in Our Early Days, The Boy and the Beast, The Girl Who Left Through Time, When. Those are unlikely because, Gary
Extremely
Ambrosia.
unlikely.
Huh? Say what?
I said extremely unlikely.
Yes. Because Gary Ambrosia, he has veto power. I mean, I do have him locked up, but I have granted him veto power on movies we love. And he is, alas, not as much into anime as some of us are. However, Demolition Man does look like a winner for this next week. God, I haven't seen that movie in so long. It's that's a good one. God, I haven't thought of it in a long time. The Dead Man with $1.99 super chat. Hail to you, the Dead Man, says the gremlins came from a market in China. Well, yes, but where did they come before? I mean, they weren't born in a market.
It was a market in Chinatown.
Right, in Chinatown.
Big difference.
That's very true.
I thought it was a gain of function lab.
Oh, hey-o.
I thought it was Raccoon City. That's where I thought. Michael Beacom with a $5 super chat. Hail to you, Michael Beacom. He says sodium vapor is superior, but incompatible with anamorphic lenses. Alas. See, I know nothing about this. This is really interesting to me. Hail to you, the Dead Man. Hail to you, Michael Beacom, King of the Wicker People, with a $4.99 super chat. Hail to you, King of the Wicker People, says, hail panel. Got to highlight Harrison Ford's comedic performance in this movie. Probably the funniest indie out of the trilogy. Yeah, no, he was good. He was good. He was a very, I don't know, for being such a personable actor, he's such a stiff in real life. It's really weird. Seeing him on interviews is just painful sometimes. And our own, holy shit, Mr. Nelson tonight has been a channel member 55 months and a industry leader most of his life. Hail to you, Mr. Nelson. He says, great show tonight. More than just all right. Wow. Thank you, Doug. Hail to you, Douglas Nelson. What a great guy. Man, I feel energized. That genuinely makes me happy. Hail to you, sir. And TMAC Burninator, channel member 53 months, says rule of thumb for Bug Thesda games, save often. I know. Save fucking awesome. Thank you very, very much, TMAC Burninator. But I hate that, I hate that. I hate buggy games. It just bugs, because then I can't get into them because I keep wondering in the back of my mind, when is it going to crash? When's it going to crash? When's it going to crash? Takes me out of the fucking game. Susan Dolan's been a channel member 59 months at the Dumentite level. Hail to you, Susan Dolan, says, for movies we love, how about doing the Sinbad movies by Ray Harryhausen? Golden is my favorite. The Battle with Kali is awesomely iconic. That, how would we choose like a movie, like a Harryhausen Sinbad movie? How would you choose just one? That would be the challenge.
Yeah, that's really tough.
Didn't he also do Jason the Argonauts?
Yes, which I recently saw in Turner Classic Movies. They re-showed it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was
I
on-
prefer the Sinbad movies personally.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
The
Which
seventh
one? Golden?
Seventh Voyage of Sinbad is good. And it has
Yeah,
a great,
that one's really good.
great
Really good.
score to it too. Yeah.
Well, Gary, at some point we can do that if you're interested, because
Sure, yeah, we can talk about that particular movie, but we could give a quick overview of Ray Harryhausen in general.
I think
Oh,
that would
yeah.
be super cool. We could
Yeah.
do like shit. I mean, we could actually do a segment on, like
I
a
agree.
movies we love segment, just talking about Harryhausen.
Sure.
Yeah, we could get screenshots from a couple of his movies just right up front before. We get to
Yeah,
the
just
main
some of the
feature.
effects and stuff.
Yeah.
Sure. That'd be super cool. Good suggestion, Susan Dolan. Goku McDuck with a 50 Mexican peso super chat says, about Demolition Man, I always wonder if all those laws are in that city, the state, the entire country, or even the world. And seems the gremlins are aliens. I couldn't answer your question, Goku McDuck. I'll refer that to the panel, because I haven't seen Demolition Man in a long fucking time.
I got to tell you guys, in all honesty, without jokes, California's pretty close. It's getting there.
Oh, to the Demolition Man stuff.
Sure.
So it's like a timely topic.
Yeah, without the full body rubbers, right?
Without the what?
The full body rubbers.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well,
Or not
yeah,
the full
but
body
this
rubbers.
state
but
is
the-
really like, it's pretty close to, if you guys have ever been to San Francisco or even San Jose with the robots driving around patrolling and shit like that, that's crazy.
That's insane.
Holy shit, dude. Well, Doug Nelson, dude, thank you for the kind comment, the kind assessment of the show tonight.
Yes, yeah.
I feel we rose to a very high level, and I'm very excited about it. Well, shit, while I'm on you, Doug, we'll break with tradition and let you go first. What do you want to tell us? Go ahead and plug your vast entertainment empire.
Oh, boy. Yes. I have a channel. It's called the Nelson Ratings. After Mr. Nelson. Get it? See?
Yeah.
There it is. That's right. And I do reviews and stuff on there. There's the my locals page, also called the NelsonRatings.locals.com. Yeah. There's a podcast called the Mr. Nelson Show. I know Nelson, huh? And I do these audio plays on it. And one of them got adapted into a comic book called Night Night. Oh, look, Rob just happens to have one right there.
Wow.
Oh, it's lots of fun. Oh, look at that. All in bright color, written and drawn by me. Yeah, because I couldn't get anyone else to do it. So, but look at that smile on Rob's face. Oh, my God. You've always wondered what happiness was. Now you know, and you can experience it too when you head over to indieplanet.com and get your copy of Night Night. Oh my goodness. Yes. So lots of other characters one day will be adapted into comic books. If I had a movie studio, I'd make those too. I'd cast Gary as Bubba Stargon. Yeah, he'd make a great Bubba Stargon. You just all so much goodies out of the world of Nelson. You don't know what you're missing, but find out. Check out all my Nelson stuff.
A world of Nelson. See, it's expanding, ever expanding. Doug is a heck of a prolific artist, and we're glad to have you here tonight, my friend. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
And Gary Ambrosia, please go ahead and plug away whatever you'd like to say.
Well, Doug, I am available. I'm good, fast, and cheap. So I'll take you up on that offer.
All right, then.
That works. Ooh, Bubba Stargon. All right. I like the sound of that. Hail to the chat. Hail to the wrenches. We'll be back next week. We love you guys very much. Thanks for hanging out with us. We know you have a choice in where you hang out every Wednesday night, and you guys are just too crazy to be hanging out with us. So we love you for it. See you later.
Hail to you, Gary Ambrosia. And Heather L., please go ahead and say goodnight to the good folks out here.
Well, good night, chat. It was great seeing you again. Hope to see you guys all back here on Friday for Friday Night Frolics. And thank you for having me on Doomcock. This was a blast. Always so much fun hanging out with you guys.
It is a lot of fun, and I had a lot of fun tonight too, folks. And also, Jack White was saying with a $5 super chat, for the anime movies, I would be willing to do the research for them and email you the notes because those movies are good. I know they are, man, but the rest of the panel has got to have seen them. It's not merely a question of the notes, but I do. Gary did say that he really loved Porco Rosso. So that was a winner. We may be able to tempt him into another Miyazaki movie at some point, but it's an uphill battle. It's an uphill battle, frankly. Goku McDuck with a 20 Mexican peso super chat says the biggest mystery are the seashells. The seashells. Are you talking about Demolition Man or what?
The three seashells in Demolition Man when they go to the bathroom.
It's a Demolition Man joke.
Okay, I got you. I haven't seen it in a long time, folks.
Susie knows the secret.
It'll be a good thing to rewatch. And Jack White with a $5 super chat. Hail to you, super executive producer Jack White. He says, and Rob, when you went to India, did you attend any of the poo festivals out there? I have no idea what that is.
No. It was in 2014. It was around this time in November. It was they had just finished Diwali, so they had a bunch of Diwali stuff still up. So it was in Delhi.
So no shit.
Yeah, no shit. Yep. No shit. And then it was interesting going to the Taj. I got to go to see the Taj, which was cool.
So you were in New Delhi?
Okay. I was in Delhi, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You were in Delhi. Did you get a Reuben?
Nope.
Every time I go to a deli, I get a Reuben.
Nope. Nope, no meat there. Lots of chicken.
No meat
in India. Yeah, no beef. They don't eat beef.
Cows are sacred.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Never mind.
No poo, lots of moo.
Yeah, no poo, lots of. Or yes, no moo, lots of poo. Yes, that's their new travel slogan, I think.
Oh my God!
Come to India. More poo, no moo. Osaka Chandal, thank you for being here. Please go ahead and plug your channel, and thank you for being with us tonight. I hope you had fun.
I did. It was a lot of fun. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you, panel. It's always wonderful to see all you guys. And like you said earlier, I just like hanging with a bunch of friends. And I still can't get over that talking to Heather L. Because like for the longest time, I used to just talk with her in the chat. Like I never actually saw her. So it feels really cool seeing her on the panel too. So my channel, I tell ghost stories, urban legends, Japanese urban legends, and I make music. So yeah, please feel free to go by, like, subscribe, and check out my content. If you have any ideas for a story, please don't hesitate to write in the comment section, and who knows, it might be featured in one of my episodes.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here, Osaka Chandal, and we will definitely have you back again. Thank you. Andy Masterson, we're going to probably have you back again too. Go ahead and plug away, sir.
I used to be asked to be in movies, but that was back in the 80s with VHS and questionable production. Not so much anymore, though, but oh well.
Uh-oh.
Thank you for joining us.
So there's no meat there either, huh?
Where's the beef?
They got little blue pills that'll help with that, Andy. You could be a star again. I know it.
That's right. I see your name up in lights, so bright.
A Ron Jeremy production.
Yeah. You and Rick Magnum can do a comeback tour.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, thank you for joining us so much. We will be back next week where we'll be reviewing Demolition Man and lots of other timely news that you'll be just riveted by with Disney's downward projections.
Yeah. And we got to get Magnum back at some point. When is Rick Magnum coming back? That's what I want to know. Rob Wright, go ahead and plug away, my friend.
Hey, I have my own YouTube channel, Rob Wright Channel Pop Culture. And last week, Heather L. and Stark of Iron were on the shows. We did the top hits of 1976. Agent Pepsi 1, unfortunately, had some technical difficulties. And we're actually looking to possibly do a makeup stream on Sunday with her and possibly Tony Stark, if Heather wants to come back on, where she just gives her opinions about the hits of 1976. So stay tuned for that. And then I'm going to review the Peanuts Thanksgiving special. So stay tuned for both of those coming up.
All right. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you very much, Rob. Sean, go ahead and plug away, sir.
Well, for today, I'd like to do my plug. There's a YouTuber named Nate the Lawyer. I don't know if anyone here has ever heard of him. He's really good content creator, talks about law stuff. He's really entertaining. And he let everyone know the other day he fainted and he has a massive brain tumor. He's a super cool guy. He sounds optimistic. He's going in for surgery and he's posting stuff on X.
He is in recovery. He is in recovery.
Oh, is
right
he?
now.
Oh, okay, good. So
good.
hopefully keeping our fingers crossed for him. There's no GoFundMe for him. The only thing he's asking, just go to his channel, subscribe. There's a lot of fun content. He's really, really good YouTuber, and I'm praying for the guy. So
absolutely.
That's the plug.
So subs and prayers, folks. Maybe the Wrenches can put a link to his channel in there. God bless him, man. That's God bless him. So he's in recovery. So he's been operated on.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
hopefully they took it out, but he posted a picture of it. It's pretty gnarly.
Oh my God.
Man. Jesus. Okay. Well, thank you, Sean. I appreciate that, brother. And super executive senior producer Jack White with a $5 super chat and a $20 super chat. Hail to you, Jack. He says some not safe for work series recommendations: Queensblade, Bikini Warriors, Hero Classroom. Sounds good. And then some romance series recommendations: More Than a Married Couple But Not Lovers, Our Dating Story, I Have a Crush at Work, 365 Days to the Wedding, Tony Kawa, Over the Moon for You, My Friend's Little Sister Has It In for Me. And then this guy, honestly, you should listen to his suggestions. If you love anime, if you love manga, Jack White really knows what he's talking about. He says, The Girl I Saved on the Train Turned Out to Be My Childhood Friend, A Couple of Cuckoos, Tin Puru, No One Can Live on Loneliness. Hail to you, super deluxe executive producer Jack White, and thank you for supporting the show, brother. Thank you for supporting us all, and thank you for the suggestions, folks. Be sure and pay attention to these. And Angry Yeti TV with a $2 super chat. Hail to you, Angry One. He says, if your burger is mooing, you may have problems. Also, if your burger is moving, you have problems, mooing or moving, both. It's the way it is. All right, folks. Well, I want to thank you all for being here tonight. And I want to thank all of my Wrenches for doing such an amazing job. All of you on the panel, you guys are great. And hope to see you on Friday for Friday Night Frolics. And, of course, next Wednesday for Pop Culture Breakdown. Which, gosh, that's going to be the day before Thanksgiving, isn't it?
Yeah.
Gosh, okay.
That's right, yeah.
And hope to see you guys then. And I will be doing a live stream on Thanksgiving for people who are, stranded or, having a less than happy day. I know the holidays can be tough on people, so I always try and stream on holidays as well. All right, folks, from the center of the earth, this is Victor Van Doomcock and my panel of pop culture pundits bidding you all, my friends, stay angry, stay safe, stay sane, and we'll see you next week. Good night, everybody. Good night, everyone.
Bye.
We'll see you later. Good night, all. Hail